Misty Rusk. I'm with a company called AngelNV, and we are here in Nevada to help you pull off your first Angel Conference. Our goal is to, over the next 3 years, run 3 Angel Conferences here in Nevada and hand it off to the state so that then you guys can understand this process and own it for yourselves. That's our hope. The overarching goal of an Angel Conference is to engage new investors. In every place I've ever been, I hear 2 things. 1, angels say there's not enough good deals, and companies say no investors are writing checks. So by putting out a $200,000 prize to start, we know that deals will come out of the woodwork here in Nevada, and then the investors will backfill that with cash. So that's the overarching premise of why we do an Angel Conference. We're super glad to have you tonight. This is the first of 3 pitch deconstructions that we're going to do. I'm running this one, and we're going to hand it off to different facilitators each time. But I've been doing this I did my first pitch decon in this format maybe 3 years ago, and I run one of these about once a month. So it's one of my very favorite things that I get to do. There's not a better learning opportunity than what we're going to do tonight. So watch closely about what everybody else is doing, and there's lots and lots of stuff to learn. Okay, next slide.
So, Misty?
Yes.
Your sound is much better when you're facing the screen. So I know it's awkward for the people in the room, but if you could actually address your slides and face the screen, everybody else will be able to hear you better.
So if I do it this way, is that okay?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Does it sound good? Okay, great. All right, so here's our agenda for, what happens if I get closer? If I get closer so I can talk like this, is that all right?
That's great too. That's even better.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna do that. All right, so what we've got here on the screen, if you're at home, you see it nice and close, and if you're here, hopefully it's nice and big. So we're gonna have opening remarks from Jeff in a minute. I'm gonna give you an overview of how pitch deconstruction runs. We're gonna introduce our judges. Somebody is gonna be the guinea pig. And we're gonna do the first 60-second pitch, and then I'm gonna pick that one apart a little bit in front of everybody. So whoever's gonna be the guinea pig, the good news is you get to go twice. You get to go first, and I'm going to pick on you, and then you get to go last. So first and last for the guinea pig, then we're going to start the speed round. And what we're going to do is we're going to change speakers every 60 seconds. So if you're in the room, you're in a numbered chair. If you're in a numbered chair, that's the order that we're going to go in. When we get to the end of the group in the room, we're going to switch to the ones online, and then we'll come back to the ones in the room if we have another group that emerges next door, since we filled all the seats in here. So we're going to do the 60-second pitches. We're geared up to do 50 or 60-second pitches. We're kind of hoping it's going to be less than that since it's the first try. But we're geared up to do a lot of pitches tonight. And then we're going to have a voting process. So we've got a great way for people to vote online. If you want to be considered for the 3-minute pitch, we need to make sure we get you on the list to be able to do that. And then after, we're going to take a quick break for the voting, get some general feedback from the judges, and then we're going to go into the 3-minute pitches. Now, a 3-minute pitch is still a very short pitch, but if you can see a 3-minute pitch with slides, you get just a little bit more information about the company, and then our judges are going to pick those decks apart. So if you're going to do a 3-minute pitch, really better if you have a deck that you can share with us tonight. And again, we're going to hold it to the 3 minutes. On a tight timeline. I'm going to do some wrap up. There will be time for Q&A, and then Jeff will close us for tonight. So that's overall the agenda for this evening and the process. And unless there's any questions, I'm going to hand it off to Jeff.
So thanks, everybody. Can you mute me? Right, we're going to try to avoid feedback. So welcome everybody to pitch night. Like Misty, I'm super excited. I love hearing pitches. Just waiting for the other speaker to go off. Muted? Right. Okay, great. Again, welcome everybody to pitch night. I'm super excited to have everybody here, and I'm really excited to hear all these 1-minute pitches. So thanks everybody for taking the time to either come here in person or to come to the virtual version. So for those of you who don't know, my name's Jeff Sailing. I'm the co-founder of Startup NV, and I'm a startup guy. I've been part of 7 startups, 4 that have had exits. I moved to Nevada in 2009 during my 3rd startup. For 8 years, I climbed on a plane every week and went to Silicon Valley, Seattle, or Austin, Texas to do my job because there was no capital and there was no support here for startups. So this situation had to change. So we founded Startup NV in 2017 to support Nevada founders, to grow here, add jobs, have successful exits, and ultimately produce $500 million or more of economic impact in our state, diversifying our economy. In 3 years, we've heard 450 pitches, had 48 startups come through our program. 17 of them have raised $40 million, which is awesome, but it's less than 1% came from Nevada investors. So I'm here asking for $250,000 tonight to help sponsor our 2021 nonprofit budget, to help a larger percentage of those founders create a Nevada-based angel investor community and get to our first 50 funded startups. So that was my 1-minute pitch. Hopefully Missy's not going to pick it apart. And that kind of gives you a sense for what you can get done in a minute. So again, thanks everybody for coming. A big thank you for our sponsors, the City of Las Vegas, Assure. And if you are in the business of starting up, Carta and Silicon Valley Bank are 2 awesome possible vendors for you to consider. And then we've got community sponsors, the SBDC SCORE, the Urban Chamber, and the Latin Chamber. And we hope to be adding some more folks to that list as well. And I also would like to thank our team that's here. You've already met Misty. Online, you've heard Maggie, and you'll be communicating with her as she wrangles questions and sort of gets everybody in order to present tonight. Next to me is Raj Tumber. He helps us with all of our community partnering and is going to help us with our timing of pitches and things tonight. And then also online, you see Deirdre and Maisha, who are our fund managers, and Bill Slickerbeer, who is our capital committee chairman. And I don't know if we have anybody else online. Let me check real quick. And Jose Padilla is one of our mentors, and he's going to offer some feedback along the way. Jose's been a lawyer here in town for a while. He's also in Texas, and we're going to look forward to having some feedback from Jose along the way tonight. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. Really appreciate your being here. It's going to be a little chaotic tonight, but that's okay. We're gonna muscle right through it. So I'm looking forward to getting the pitches kicked off and getting going. So thanks again for coming. Misty, do I unshare the slides and turn it over to you?
Don't unshare the slides just yet. So now we've got up but thank you, Jeff. And I'm tempted to pick on you about your 1-minute pitch. But I would be tempted to pick on me about my 1-minute pitch too. So I'm not going to do it tonight. And I'm always going to do it in a loving way because I want everybody to be able to be successful with what they're trying to do. Okay, so can we go on to the next slide? All right, judges for tonight. So if we can elevate this group to panelists, that would be great. We have a way to do that. So judges for tonight. Our fund managers, you got a live angel investor. You've got actually 4 of them tonight. Judy Mahan can't join us. I should have taken hers off of there. I actually knew that, could have changed that, but she's not going to be here. Of the 5 judges, we've got accredited investors here that are going to be evaluating your pitches. And most of the people that are evaluating tonight have seen a lot of pitches. So Jeff Sailing with Startup NV, Deirdre Jackson, who is your fund manager. She will corral the investors for this first conference. She's going to take the legal weight of owning the fund and managing the process. So we're going to help her do that. She's helped by Maisha Williams, also accredited investor locally, who's here tonight as a judge, but also as an accredited investor. Chris Peters, he's from my team in San Diego. He's seen a ton of deals. He's taken a startup through a successful exit. And he is delivering the same thing for us virtually in a couple of weeks for San Diego. So he's here to see if he can pick up some things. Jose Padilla, a lawyer out of Texas. I'm not exactly sure where, but he He's also sees a lot of deals, certainly has perspective on what he can ask and offer in terms of deal review. And we're super excited to bring this group of judges to you tonight. So every time we do this, we're going to pick a different group of judges. This is a soft group. These guys are all cheering for you. Shouldn't be too tough on you tonight. So this shouldn't be too painful. If we can go on to the next slide. Okay, here's the overview. Click once. The first pitch is going to be the guinea pig, and I've got a name in mind. So 110 people registered for tonight. We've got a great group. And so the person who's going to do the first pitch is David Crane. So Dave, you need to get ready, and we're going to elevate you to a panelist now. Can we click again? Sorry, automation was probably not a good idea with this. Once we do the first pitch, I'm going to give a little bit of feedback on that first pitch. Then we're going to move into the speed round. Our good friend Raj, can you wave? Raj is part of the event team. He's a consultant here in the Nevada market, and he is going to run the timer. So you're going to see a 60-second timer up on the screen, and every 60 seconds, it's going to come to the end. And if you're here in person, we're going to clap for you. And that's going to shut the program down while we get the next speaker up. If you're online, we're just going to shut you off entirely. So we actually have the ability to do that, and we'll continue to change the panelists. So this is going to go really fast once we get started. It'll be a little bit hiccupy the first couple, but we're going to get into a rhythm pretty quickly. And so every 60 seconds, nothing in between, just pitch after pitch after pitch. And then we're going to take a little break. If you want to be considered for the 3-minute round, you need to put your company name and your first name in the chat, or you need to write your name on one of the boards. So there's actually a board in the other room, but we can write the names in here. And then when we get to this part where we do the judging, everybody gets to vote. So you're going to get 3 votes, and we're going to come back to the companies that put their name on the board for the 3-minute pitches. Again, 3-minute pitch with slides if you got them. If you brought them, you have access to them online, you know, however we can get them from you to be able to do that tonight. After the voting's done, we're going to pick the top 3, maybe 4 people to come back and do their 3-minute pitches, and then the judges are going to pick those decks apart and those pitches apart one at a time. After that. So we're going to get to do, like, hear a bunch of pitches, do a little bit more of a deep dive on a handful of them, and so this is the overall learning process. And I think maybe we have one more. Click one more time. Yeah, 3-minute pitches, and then the judges will be specific. Okay, so that's it. David Crane, can we pull up the timer? And David, are you ready to go?
All right, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you. Can we switch over to the timer?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Let's get big.
Do you want me to start video or just be able to talk?
If you can start your video, that would be great. It is definitely better if we can see your face.
Even if it's little.
It says I cannot share I'm not sharing my screen for this. All right.
There he is.
Okay, yeah.
So, how you doing, everybody? You ready?
Wait, time out. We got to get the timer up. So
I thought it was up. Hang on.
Jeff's working on it.
Right.
We can still see the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I'm trying to move it to the back. Oh, I see. I know what I did. Let's go. Stop sharing.
That's okay. I don't get to show my slides until the 3 minutes, so.
All right, we will get this. Like I said, it's going to be a little chaotic tonight. We'll get there. Screen share.
Okay, so David, thank you very much for being a guinea pig for us tonight. We totally appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Here's what's going to happen. In just a second, I'm going to let you go, and as soon as you start to talk, we're going to start the timer. All right?
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Go.
Hi, everyone. My name is David Crane, CEO of Door to Door Health. We spend 80% of our country's $3.5 trillion annual healthcare cost on people with chronic conditions, in large part because lower income people delay getting medical care because they can't afford the cost. The primary care system is not working. and it's created an $800 billion total addressable market for our home-based tech-enabled primary care services. Investors see the huge potential returns in the primary care space. In the last 8 months, over $1.5 billion has been invested in just 5 primary care companies. And this is just the beginning. Door-to-Door Health is reinventing primary care for more than 300 million Americans. Our team has launched other healthcare companies with 2 exits, including a large primary care practice handling over 140,000 patient encounters per year. We have patient referral relationships in place now, representing over 70,000 prospective patients in Las Vegas with $20,000 in monthly revenue expected at launch. We're raising $1 million seed round that will drive growth to 3 states, 12,000 patients, and fuel a 15x valuation increase leading to our next round.
All right, so for our backup house team, we need to shut those videos off right as the timer goes off. We are not letting people finish the last sentence. All right, so I mentioned this in the beginning to the people that were in the room, but I'm going to say it again just for fun. One of the things that sticking to a time frame does is it tells your investors that you know how to meet a deadline, right? It's this like little bit of a even if investors aren't set out with that in mind, there's this little subliminal piece in the back of their head that says, well, if you can't stick to a 10-minute or a 1-minute time, then how can we trust you with something that's really, really complicated? All right, so we're gonna work hard to hold them to the 1 minute. David, first, thank you very much for being willing. That was actually a great pitch. You talked about a bunch of stuff. But here's my feedback. 1, you were easy to understand. And your thought process was clear. I'm not sure I know what you're doing, but you spent 40 seconds describing the problem and your solution in some kind of a way. All right, so for those in the room, show of hands, how many of you could say a sentence about what he actually delivers? All right, so it was tough. It's a tough room, and and you're doing something complicated. All right, so this is the first big lesson, or one of them. We want, especially in an elevator pitch, we got to make the jump. We got to make the jump from feature sets and to being able to do the storytelling, right? To talk about the benefits. All right, so if I give you an example of that, a feature set is, I'm going to say, my name is Misty Rusk. I'm the director of the BRINC SBDC in San Diego. We're a federally funded program that helps innovation-based companies accelerate and scale. All of that's true, accurate, pretty clear, right? But what if I say, my name's Misty, it's spelled M-Y-S-T-Y, you can find me on the internet that way, I'm the only one, right? I've made myself memorable to you, you can find me afterward. And every day, I help passionate entrepreneurs turn their life's work into world-saving solutions, right? That's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing than what I said first, which was also accurate. And hopefully, the second one makes you think, well, shit, I want to know more about that. Or, I have something that changes the world, I want to play with you, right? So that's a big piece of the feedback. There's also great ways to cheat. So David, I don't know if you were reading, but you were really well thought out. For me, I do 2 things. I come up with these crazy sets of notes. Who's saying what, who's saying when, what slide is up. Like, I think I could hold these notes even for the camera. And then at the last minute, I always scratch the little things on the card. And then I almost always lose the card because I get nervous about speaking, and then I write them on my hand, right? Here's the most important things I want to drive home for you. When I'm listening to a pitch, if it's a minute or an hour, I'm always listening as an investor for 5 minutes, written on my hand. Technical solution, market opportunity, business model, team, investment opportunity, right? I can remember to say those out loud because they're on my hand as a backup. I don't have to worry if I'm going to lose one of them because I got a backup. I got 2 backups, I actually have 3. But those are I'm listening even in a minute. You want to be able to cover the 5, all right? So I'm going to say it again. Technical solution that covers your problem and your product. Market opportunity, how big is it? How much of it can you get? And how, and why, and what's your path to that? What's the business model? How are you going to make money? Tell me about your team, and I don't really care where you went to school. I care if you've done a successful startup. So David, I just want to have another meeting with you because you've got startup experience and you've got a startup on your belt, and that's something investors are always excited to see. And then finally, that investment opportunity. For a cool $1 million, you could own 20% of my company. Or today, I'm not looking for money, but I really, really could use introductions in this industry or with this kind of vendor. Right, so figuring out what that ask is really important, and answering the question, what's in it for me, for the investor? All right. From our judges, is there anything you'd like to add to those sort of opening comments for our guinea pig?
The only thing I would like to add, this is Chris here, I hope you can hear me, is for the market, you mentioned, I think it was the $800 billion for the healthcare market, chronic disease, which certainly is true, it's massive, but I think just being a little bit more specific about the market instead of picking the biggest number would be a little bit more.
All right, anything else from our other judges? Jose, Maisha, Deirdre? It was a good pitch. It's probably one of the best first pitches I've seen ever. All right, very good. I got to clap in the room, so like everybody understand. Yes, we're willing to move on. Okay. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and start our speed round. Timer is already up. We've got 10 people that are ready to pitch in this room. So we're gonna run through that group, and the chairs are numbered. So first pitch, it's up to you. All right, so here's the way it works. You're gonna step up to the podium, a fake podium. You're gonna face the camera. You gotta know that there's some people watching, but we don't have to know how many. And you know, you've got cheerleaders and support here in the room. As soon as you start talking, they're gonna start the timer. Okay? All right, whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Emily. About 5 years into my nursing career, I became fed up with a consistent nagging problem. Healthcare apparel was uncomfortable and ugly. This same frustration was felt by many of those who worked in my field, so I decided to start my company Ruby to fill a gap in the healthcare apparel market, which will be a $100 billion opportunity by 2027. Ruby's team includes myself, consultants, as well as top-notch producers throughout the world. We work as both a B2B and B2C company. Ruby adds an artistic right brain take to an overwhelmingly left brain industry. Our vision is to help lighten the burdens of female healthcare professionals everywhere who wear many hats. Our luxury apparel will allow those women to get the job done in comfort and style, and give them peace of mind that they have an added layer of protection against the germs they encounter in their workplace. We have already launched and are building a strong customer base, and you must be involved because you can financially contribute to a cause that betters the lives of those who give the most.
Great job. All right. Number 2.
Hi, I'm DP. In 2017, I founded Horus Eye, an artificial intelligence company that will release an eye health web app for screening drug use and numerous medical conditions. Our lightweight software runs in just a browser window on most video-enabled mobile devices, including a Zoom telehealth session. Our AI algorithm and methodology were filed as a provisional utility patent in 2020. We are seeking to raise $2 million in seed capital from investors who understand the regulatory hurdles in releasing HIPAA-compliant software as a medical device. This investment will bring our first product to market, and we project a 10x return in 5 years. And if I can have your attention for a minute, I'm going to administer your eye exam.
Great. Good job. Number 3. And heads up, whoever's number 5 will be next. So, go ahead.
Anyways. Hi, how are you? My name is John Paul Abadi, and I'm the creator of Apron Tie. I've been a chef for 25 years or so, mainly in this city, and through the entire time, my apron always bugs me. You know, it pulls on my jacket, or if I wear a t-shirt, it rubs on my neck, and it just makes me uncomfortable through my entire shift. And I've seen some versions of different aprons that are very expensive, and I've seen some folks that kind of rig the aprons to go back, but I've been a chef and I like to go to the dining room, so I kind of work with something a little nicer. So one day I invented this device, super simple, one size fits all, strapped to the back. It pulls the complete apron over you, sit back in your t-shirt, it keeps it in that place for the entire time you're working. So I created the first one, then I have a purveyor come into the restaurant, looked at it, and said, if you don't patent that, I'm gonna patent it. The next day, they call a lawyer to patent it. We have some sales in town, and I'm working on B2B and getting this product out there with sublimation and things like that. Thank you.
Okay, hello, I'm Dave Lifschultz. Have you ever bought a new phone or changed service providers and had to transfer all your contacts and then tell everyone your new number, or met someone at a convention or on Zoom and tried to find them on LinkedIn afterwards? Or how about having to look through boxes of business cards to find a card you filed away? Well, my app, Our Party, gives you the peace of mind all your contact information is accessible and up to date with your associates. It's a free app for everyone with a mobile phone, and an end-to-end solution that keeps all your contacts synchronized, accessible on any device, and backed up to the cloud. Our Party also lets you share your internet presence privately. So in addition to getting a new phone number or address, you can let your associates know when you join the latest social networking app. Thank you for your time. I'm David Lifschultz, inventor of the Our Party app, and I'm fundraising for this software.
Is it okay for me to keep this
You
on?
can, absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
I know it looks bad, but.
Okay, perfect.
My name is Edna, and I'm the owner of More Than Words LLC. We provide speech therapy services throughout Vegas Valley. I identified a huge need when my father suffered a stroke 4 years ago. At that time, he had difficulty swallowing pills, eating, and drinking. As he was at home, we tried to order an in-house swallowing test. And unfortunately, it took several weeks because there were no qualified professionals available. This showed to me that there's an urgent need for speech pathologists to conduct these type of exams. However, most speech pathologists do not have the skill set to complete these type of exams. More Than Words fills this void by providing at-home swallowing tests regionally, as well as clinical mentorship and training to speech pathologists nationwide. We're asking for mentorship and $175,000 to help hire trainers, buy equipment, and raise our profile. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Geraldine Goss. I'm the CEO of Trauma Detox Centers. The detox centers focus on our first responders, helping to give them the recovery and the strength that they need, since we are prohibited by law from seeking out natural sources, your loved ones, churches. So we take all that trauma in with nowhere for it to go. The trauma centers will be able to focus on therapy, nutrition, exercise, support groups, and training reinforcements for all of our first responders. Also having group therapy sessions for them and their families to help them understand the struggle of not being able to vent about the loss of life, the tragedies that they see on a daily basis.
Good job.
Good evening. My name is Raphael. My partner Bill and I, he's online, come from the food and beverage industry. More specific, from restaurants and bars. Even more specific, fast food, casual, and fine dining. So we've done it all between of us. 15 years from his end, another 20 from my end. So over 40 years of experience in this industry. What's been missing is a concept that we've been talking about for the last year and a half. Introducing Papa Spuds, wholesome food for the fast food and fast casual industry. Home of the BYOP, the Build Your Own Potato, a new concept dedicated and built upon our humble hero, the potato. The potato isn't just a bridesmaid to the burger's bride. It's always had the spotlight, we believe. And Papa Spuds will redefine how people perceive the food service industry. From sweet potatoes to jumbo russets, everyone loves potatoes in any form. Our concept reaches everyone from kids and parents to the health-conscious adults, and even some not-so-healthy options as well for all audiences. We're raising $250,000 towards our goal of $700,000 to begin conceptualizing and development of our first location here in Nevada, and from that point to franchise.
Who's next? Go ahead. Okay.
Hi, my name is Aaron Lewis, and I'm the founder of Qubit. Qubit is a mobile application that allows artists and venues to monetize segments of their live and virtual events and engage with their fans in a way that's never been done before. Let me give you a couple of examples of how it'll work. A DJ creates an event and attaches a customizable playlist. And now you as a fan can find it. And while there, tap in and bid to hear your favorite song and type in a short message for a personalized shout out. For bands and different artists and things like that, they could put encore songs, meet and greet passes after the show, or even their entire set list up for bid. Qubit will have a tipping or support your artist function. An artist will keep 70% of their bids and 100% of their tips. Qubit will be a reoccurring revenue stream for venues and artists. It's a free app for them. It's a free app for the fans. Let's get them all queued up.
Right, so Maggie, just so you know, we have one more and then we'll be ready to go to the, two more pitches in this room, and then we'll be ready to go to the Zoom pitches. Go ahead, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
My name is Sean, co-founder and CEO of highflare.com. It's a service as a software social network creator. We created this website, this platform, so that we can cut the cost. We believe that you shouldn't have to pay a fortune for a professional looking website. 2019, Facebook spent $5 billion in fines because of mismanagement of data. 15 years ago, software as a service was hardly used or talked about. Today, it's 64% of businesses use SaaS for 80% of their needs. Our total obtainable market are fans club, businesses, e-learning classrooms, online gaming communities, charity organizations, and businesses. We have over 15,000 royalty-free images, blogs, music tracks, forums, groups. So we also have a mobile app to complement the web-based platform. Yangwei Chi is our chief programmer with 20 years of experience. We're asking for $20,000 in seed funding. Thank you.
Also Qubit. All right, Maggie, we're ready to go to the Zoom room. Wait, do we have one more?
There's someone I know that's online, but for some reason she can't. She wants to put her name on the list.
Maggie, go ahead and go with the Zoom.
Okay, Purin, you're up first. You're going to be promoted to a panelist.
Yeah. She wants to put her name on the list. I don't know.
Purin and Raj, are we ready to go with the next pitch?
Yes. Yep. All you got to do is let them go.
Purin, go ahead and unmute, please.
Hi, my name is Purin. I present one page. Almost a salesperson today spends around 30 minutes for preparing for every meeting. What we do, we want to reduce that to 5 minutes. 5 minutes before every meeting, we give an alert saying that, hey, let's prepare you for this meeting. You get everything about the person, like emails, exchange attachments, data from CRM, all the opportunities you're tracking, orders placed, cases placed, all these applications, we give you in 1 minute. And you will get started with everything. We help salespeople prepare for meetings faster. A team has experience of a couple of decades across building applications, integrations, and sales processes across 5 different continents. We are looking for $500,000 and a mentorship to take this product to market. We have 107 customers currently who already used our product and give us feedback. Thank you.
Okay, that was within the time. Is there any feedback?
No feedback. Next up.
Oh, okay.
Maggie, maybe we can elevate three to panelists at one time, and then we can have it roll a little bit faster.
Yes, will do.
Okay.
Josiah, you're up. Josiah, are you there? Josiah, it's time to talk, or else I'm going to have to find somebody else.
Next.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead and move to the next.
Okay, William Monroe Britt, go ahead.
Something's not going right.
William, you're on mute. Oh.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm W. Monroe Britt, CEO of Celebrity Hits Bobbleheads, and our company is a restart, go-to-market ready with artist, contract attorney, handmade, hand-painted, product manufacturing, marketing, and distribution. Currently, we can renew our existing bobblehead contract with recently deceased legendary Hall of Famer Charlie Daniels, plus add NASCAR Millennium Darling Bubba Wallace for a gross profit of $350K. We've already done business with Bravado International, the largest artist management company in the world, plus being in Target stores across the country. We have gross profit margins up to 65% with unbelievable return on investment negotiations. We're expanding to include the top 7 social media industries that are in the investment presentation and will gross within a 24-minute time frame, $4 to $8 million.
Okay, Steve Jones, you're up. Steve Jones, I've asked you to unmute. Go.
How's that? Hi, my name's Steve Jones. I'm a 55-year-old Aussie who realised in 2017 that I had a drinking problem that was seriously affecting my relationships, focus and health. I, just like 30 million other people in the US who have lost control of their drinking, was not interested in any solution that required lifelong abstinence and labelled me an alcoholic. So I searched the world for an answer to my problem, a way to drink normally again. I discovered a pill in Europe with 92% success removing alcohol cravings and 65% success returning people to safe, moderate drinking levels. I acquired the medication with the help of my physician and the results were amazing. I now drink responsibly with no white knuckling through cravings, a seemingly insurmountable lifetime problem beaten. I've had 2 successful online subscription-based business exits, so I knew this was a huge opportunity. LifeBack is currently in 4 states with revenue growth of 340% in the first 6 months of 2020. Yes, during COVID, we are building a long-term subscriber database, adding hundreds of new clients every month, and we're seeking 2 million to expand to 10 more states on the way to a VC seed round in the summer of 2021 and have raised close to $1 million in this round to date.
Okay, Terry Wang, you're up.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Terry. I'm the CEO of Homeland Realty, LLC. And I have a new invention that I'm currently getting it patented. It's a filterless mask that's gonna be solving the problem for all the forced firing, all the ashes. We can greatly reduce it. This is something that nobody have come up yet. Also, this is also working currently for the COVID-19 virus. It reduced everything down to nanometer, microns, dust, mold, and anything in between. So I'm looking for 200,000 seed funding to get the invention patented and manufactured. Thank you.
Okay, Krista B., go ahead.
Hi, I'm Krista B. Jackson, founder of Sugar Love, where we create classic confections with a modern twist. What's the modern twist? Our flavors are exciting and challenging, like bourbon pecan or chipotle cashew brittle, which are perfect for customers who miss grandma's touch in the kitchen and yet are interested in the growing trends of real ingredients and interesting flavors. Focusing on older millennials to younger boomers, we're building a brand for shelves in your mid to high-end range grocery stores to celebrate nostalgia while exploring the trends of today. If you look at our competing sections like chocolate bars or cookies, you'll see dozens of brands, both new and old, that have different value propositions. In the category of hard candy, you'll see almost only brands that have been around for decades, and their only proposition is their classic recipe. This category is ripe for diversification, and Sugar Love is ready to meet demand. We're currently looking for an advisory board as well as funding once ready.
Thank you, Krista B. Mina, you're up next. I've asked you to unmute. Mina, go.
Hi, I'm Mine Kost. I'm the founder of photo application Hollywood Rising Star. I don't know if anybody been in Hollywood and visited Hollywood Walk of Fame. Hollywood Walk of Fame is a popular tourist destination visited by 10 million people every year. During my time, when I came to United States, my first job was selling Stars home tour on the sidewalk of Hollywood Walk of Fame. During my time, I noticed people's passion taking photos next to the stars on the sidewalk of the Walk of Fame. They were literally laid down on the sidewalk to take a photo. Through my photo app, I combined their passion in one platform, Hollywood Walk of Fame, and have a photo next to the stars. Now I need your help to reach more people around the world. Thank you.
Okay, Jeff Leap, you're up next. Can you unmute?
Yeah, there we go. Maggie, are you going to be looking at me too, or is it just my voice?
Other people can look at you, but I won't be.
Okay, very good. Here we are. Hi, I'm Jeff Leap, founder of PPL. PPL is software to help you manage personnel in the gig economy. Nice to meet you. If you've ever needed to organize teams of people to accomplish tasks, especially independent contractors, then you know what an ominous problem it is managing the people and the details involved. So I created PPL as a better solution to solve those hassles and make your life a whole lot easier. It helps you get the right people with the right skills to the right place at the right time. Businesses who are switching over are seeing a massive increase in productivity and accuracy, and we've made it amazingly easy to use. You can use it online from your office with a huge staff or be on the road anywhere in the world yourself. Hey, you could even be in Maui and manage your people from there. If you like, I'll be in the hotel lobby bar at 5 p.m. and we can talk more about PPL at that time. Hope to meet you there, and the drinks are on me.
Thanks, Jeff. Up next is Dee Ryerson. Go on.
Yes. Can
Okay,
you hear
good.
me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dawn Ryerson, and I am the CEO of a nonprofit mental health agency here in the Valley. Currently, mental health is in. It's something that has had a stigma, but it's currently something that I think most everyone is considering. especially during the pandemic. The idea that I have is an application for wellness. It's based off a CBT therapeutic model approach, but it offers simple, in the moment, quick, subtle solutions to individuals experiencing unwanted moods. I never had an intention of doing anything like this, quite frankly, but the logo for my agency inspired me to try and fulfill a goal of reaching mass individuals and promoting wellness and community well-being. And it's led me to here today. Thank you so much.
Okay, up next is Ben Lamb.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we do. Go ahead.
Yes, hi. How many of you are caretaking for a loved one or have seen someone who is? I was my mom's primary caregiver for more than a decade before she passed away in ICU. During her last 12 years, I was not able to keep up with managing her medications, nor I could ensure she is taking the right meds at the right time when I'm not around. I looked at many different solutions, including prepackaged pharmacy like PillPack, which was acquired by Amazon 2 years ago, but none of them met my needs as the caregiver of an elderly patient. Current solutions address some of the challenges and problems facing many older adults, but leave others unaddressed or even introduce new problems. So I invented a solution that addresses all of the shortcomings in prepackaged medication services and other existing products for the 60 million older adults in the United States. Want to know more? My name is Ben Lam with Ultras Health Tech.
Good job. Chip, are you ready? Chip Rowe, let's go.
Here we go. 2011 was a year that changed my entire life. 2011 was the year that our mom was diagnosed with dementia. 2011 was the year that she began to fall and badly hurt herself. 2011 was the year that she actually lost her driving privileges. And 2011 became the year that literally paralyzed my entire family. We were forced to place her in various senior care facilities, but here was the problem. My family lived all over the country and we were rarely able to visit her. We only heard from these facilities when she had fallen or developed some kind of infection. But in those rare moments when we did speak to her, she'd tell us how lonely and isolated she felt. She needed to stay close to her family. So it was this crisis that led me to create CareShare Manager. Loneliness and isolation are bigger contributors to a decline in health than smoking and cigarettes. So let me reveal today why CareShare should be your next investment.
Okay, that was very good on the timing, Chip. All right, Ben is speaking for Zach Gambino, Frontline Trade Show Displays.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin. Oh, I have to start. Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin. I've been in Las Vegas for the last 25 years. I've been creating and designing and building all different kinds of signs in the sign industry. I came up with a unique concept for first of its kind called Frontline Displays, a retractable illuminated stanchion. At this time, this product has gone through patent search. It's gone through a patent, provisional patent, and has at the beginning of the year gone through an unprovisional patent. At this time, we have a couple working models for proof of concept that are being field tested in the business locally, and have heard nothing but positive feedback from business owners and customers. We're looking for $1.2 million in funding to help finish development and bring this product to market. FrontlineDisplays.com.
Thank you. 7 seconds to spare. Okay, Doug Moore, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, go for it.
Fantastic. My name's Dougie Moore, born and raised in Reno, Nevada. I'm the owner of Debbie Divine Jewels, LLC. Let's talk about sex. Actually, let's talk about a problem with sex. The problem derives from women becoming desensitized by electronic powered devices for pleasure. And Sex wellness industry 2019, a $21 billion industry. Projections by 2026, $57 billion industry. Debbie Divine has come up with a solution. We've created multifunctional jewelry to not only look amazing, but empower each and every woman wearing it with the option to manually operate, stimulate pleasure, self-love on herself in a natural manner. The women get to decide when and where they pleasure themselves and how with Debbie Divine Jewels. Thank you.
Okay, Aneta, you are up next. Thanks, Doug. Oh, that was Ben, sorry. Thank you, Ben.
That was Doug.
That was Doug. I'm doing a lot of stuff here. It's hard to keep track. Okay. Aneta, you are next, though.
Oh, excuse me.
Aneta. Oh, you're not ready? Okay. In that case, let us go to Daniel Sanhueza.
Hi, can you hear me?
I do.
Great. Hi, I'm David Sanhueza from Polygon Pros, and I've successfully been making video games for over 20 years. I'm also part of the first generation to grow up playing video games. They let me be the hero of my own stories and help me bond with friends, because the only thing more fun than playing games is playing them with other people. Who doesn't love the fun of friendly competition? But most multiplayer games are too competitive and come with significant barriers to entry, including complex gameplay, paywalls, and toxic communities, all of which attract only the most hardcore of gamers. That's why Polygon Pros makes multiplayer games that anyone can jump into and play. Friendly, colorful worlds with intuitive, simple to grasp gameplay. Our accessible multiplayer games give players a fun home and welcoming family that they can keep coming back to. So if you'd love to help Polygon Pros make the next generation of hit multiplayer games and help bring more tech jobs to Nevada that don't revolve around gambling, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you.
Okay, good job. 5 seconds to spare. Allie with Good Elephant, you ready?
Yep.
Go for it.
Right. Hi, I'm Allie, the founder of Good Elephant. We're an online platform that connects yoga instructors with their communities outside of the yoga studio. Due to COVID restrictions and BLM callouts, thousands of yoga studios in the US have already permanently closed, resulting in displaced communities and teachers across America. But these displaced yoga teachers aren't entrepreneurial or tech savvy, and they're trying to navigate teaching online outside of the studio for the first time. They're making guesses about when, where, and what types of classes to offer and struggling to fill their classes. For the last 2 years, Good Elephant app has connected over 100 teachers and local businesses to offer classes in Reno, Sacramento, Denver, and now online. We believe that teachers shouldn't be guessing what their community wants, so our community-powered platform uses member data and machine learning to organically generate class opportunities for teachers based on the needs of the community. We're raising our seed round to grow our platform and build the technology to do this.
Thank you, Allie. Up next is Manny Garcia. Are you able to unmute yourself? Great.
Yep, I'm good. Hi, everybody. I'm Manny Garcia. I'm a career electrician. I've been paid a lot of money to destroy walls. Some of you probably paid me. I created a product that reduces installation time by 2/3 and eliminates wall damage. I hold patents in the US and Taiwan. I'm patent pending in China, Japan, and Canada. I hold trademarks in the US, Canada, Japan, and Taiwan. I'm UL listed in the US and Canada, and I have manufacturing set up in Taiwan. Last year, Datacom Electronics earned $11 million with virtually no competition. It's an increase of $3 million in 1 year. They sell rat holes, which infringe on my patent. A $2 million investment in the right team could easily earn $5 million in the first year and exit in 5 years. So who wants to make money with me? Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Mr. Reed, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Go for it. Yep.
Awesome. My name is Dejon Reed. I am the Chief Operations Officer for the Desktop Company, and we are a company that inspires and brings families together by creating brand products, movies, and music. Have you ever dropped your phone on your face while sleeping in bed? That answer is yes. Well,
Mr.
solve
Beta, I
that
lost
problem
you.
by creating an accessory to oh. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, man.
30 seconds.
You can hear me now? Oh, sorry.
Go.
So we created a cell phone a tablet and cell phone accessory that enables you to place your cell phone and your tablet anywhere in your house while laying in bed, and it's attached with an entertainment system. This $200 million market is going to be growing with iPhones and Apple tablet accessories. And we're asking for $200,000 for you to never to drop your phone on your face again. Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty then, we have Karen Sears. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karen Sayers, and I'm a strategic advisor for WeatherCheck. We know weather. Our mission is to use technology to harness weather for good and for profit. Your 21st century weather strategy is what we bring you. Whether you own 20 homes or 2,000, only WeatherCheck can tell you when to use insurance for covered repairs. For the first time, know exactly when to file a claim for weather-related damage repairs. Our team of weather scientists, AI professors, climatologists, cloud computing engineers, and claims analysts is the only one in the country providing the address-specific information owners require to minimize out-of-pocket expense, maximize profit, and safeguard investment. WeatherCheck's founders are dedicated to giving property owners actionable weather data for about the price of a fancy cup of coffee. We've uncovered hidden damage and tens of thousands still eligible for insured repairs. For property owners from coast to coast, we monitor and protect assets ranging in value from $45,000 to more than $4.5 million. We're seeking $500,000 in seed funding to create a debt facility because our new financing of claims of property is taking the world by storm.
Okay, good job. Alrighty, then Mark Aston, are you ready to go? Go ahead, Mark, I've unmuted you. Mark, are you there? All right, we'll move on to Josiah now. Josiah? Josiah, I called on you first and then you wrote to me, so you're back up. Now is your chance. Okay, Simon, are you ready?
Hey, yes, I am.
All right, winner.
Hey, I'm there here. we go, I'm in. Hey, hi
Yeah.
guys, my name's Simon Mile. I'll spell the Mile bit because it's a little complicated, M-I-A-L-L. And I'm part of the team Perfy. Back in March of this year when the pandemic hit New York, where I live, a lot of the local stores, cafes and restaurants had to shut up shop. It wasn't good, a lot of them are still shut up and they're looking for ways to connect with their customers. So they turned online. When they looked at their websites, a lot of their websites were either out of date, didn't work, or were non-existent. They needed a cheap, easy, and effective way to transfer to e-commerce. And that's where Perfy comes in. It's a website Swiss Army knife for non-techies. It's a toolbox for businesses to make the most of their websites. The market's big. The search engine optimization management tool in the US is 80 billion. 40,000 people on Facebook see themselves as CEOs, and our subscription model hopes to capture a small part of that. We've got a wizard program in Germany, a translator on the West Coast, and an organizer on the East Coast. We're not looking for cash, but we're looking for some help in growing a subscription model business.
Okay. Thank you, Josiah.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Very good, go.
All right. My name is Josiah Umezurike. Last name is spelled U-M-E-Z-U-R-I-K-E. I am the founder of Lockdown LLC, which started in 2017. You can easily find me in LinkedIn, where I have over 7,000 followers. Lockdown creates solution that secures your online privacy and protects your people data. Most in this room, or most that's viewing right now, they know that the internet is broken, and that is why you are worried about your online privacy. Study puts you in amongst the 4 billion users who are concerned. While others are building temporary solutions, we decided to fix this problem for good. We have already built robust, less expensive, and quantum-resistant application as a foundation to secure your data at rest or online. You can call it security module as a software service. We are working on the 14% out of the 2 billion, half of the number that I mentioned earlier. These are the people who are concerned of their online privacy. Our product covers business to consumers and business to business or business to enterprises. We make money through licenses, subscriptions, and other fees. We are here to ask for $250,000 to finish our technical sales and marketing team as a plan.
So Josiah went over time, and now I find myself with names, but I don't have them listed in the attendee list. They could be call-in people. So I am looking for Carlos Tabora and Rafael Garcia. If you're here, please somehow signal me. Okay, so Matthew Brill is here, and no, Mark West would like to do it. Great, I will promote you right now. Okay, Mark, when you get on, just let me know. Mark, you can unmute and speak.
Very good. Well, good evening. My name is Mark West, creator of InnovaLink, Licensing Made Easy. We've been in the casino and gaming industry for years and have been licensed many times. We know each application can take hours or days to prepare, and most licenses have to be renewed every year or two. One application could be 1,000 pages or more, and while the information is largely the same from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, each gaming regulator requires its own forms. InnovaLink streamlines the gaming application licensing and renewals process, reducing the time to create an application from days to minutes. We support 40 gaming jurisdictions today and have tested our solution with companies that have given us positive feedback and suggestions for enhancements. Our market size is $100 million. We need $200,000 so we can add California, Washington, Oregon, and eventually all 240 gaming jurisdictions in North America by mid-2021. We anticipate revenues of $1 million next year, $4 million in 2022, with at least a 30% margin. Thank you.
Okay, good job. Perfect timing. Kelly Jackson, you are up next. Great.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Jackson, and I'm the CEO of Moving Schools Forward. Our mission is to create equal educational opportunities nationwide through providing a secondary source of funds to all schools, especially those in lower income communities. We plan to develop a retail website comprised of third-party vendors, and 20% of every purchase made will be equally allocated to all participating schools. Both schools and vendors will pay a low monthly membership fee of $60 annually, and we will offer ad sales to increase profits. With over 7 million online businesses and over 200,000 schools plus, we project $250 billion in membership sales annually. We are asking for $670,000 to help start the business, promote, and develop the website. Now let's start talking about solutions and start becoming one together.
Good job. Perfect timing. Okay, Jacqueline, you're up next. Jacqueline? Jacqueline? Okay, I haven't promoted enough people to be able to quickly deal with this. I'm going with James Matos is coming up next. Oh, I should have picked Eileen Garza. Sorry.
Hello, you guys hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes, we do hear you. This is Eileen instead of James, which is what's
Yeah.
showing on our screen. Okay.
Co-CEO here, Eileen Garza.
All right. Well, your 1 minute starts now.
Perfect. Hi, my name is Eileen, CEO of Collab, and I have a question for you. Who's ever tried to volunteer for a community cause that you're passionate about? If you're anything like me, you may have had a little bit of trouble trying to find an organization or an event. Now, who's ever tried to find somebody on Instagram or Facebook? Okay, this is pretty easy. The issue here is that it could take anywhere from an hour to days to find a legitimate organization to donate my time to. But it'll take me 5 seconds to find somebody I went to high school with on Instagram or Facebook. My business takes a huge humanitarian problem and solves it with tools we are all familiar with. Collab is an app that efficiently and effectively connects volunteers to legitimate community causes. Even better, this app lets you search for causes by criteria, so you could be connected to the cause that speaks to you. And it gives underfunded community causes a high traffic platform to showcase their efforts.
Okay, 4 seconds to spare.
Thank you.
Okay, Randall Spence, you're up next. You ready, Randall? Randall, I'm asking you to unmute.
There we go. Sorry, I missed that.
No worries.
You got me?
Yep.
What about
Hit it.
video? Does that help?
Yeah, just start talking.
I'm Randall Spence, founder of EarthMom.org. EarthMom is destined to become the next globally recognized environmental icon for the new millennium. She brings a beautiful face to the many challenges that pollution presents to the planet. Our logo was developed after recognizing the similarities between the Atlantic Oceans and an antique hand-carved cameo. If you view her online at earthmom.org, you can note the special way in which the winds become her hair and the winds become her face and upper body. Let me stop that there.
30 seconds.
EarthMom offers the perfect image to use as a globally recognized environmental logo. She offers unlimited branding opportunities, social media training, eco-friendly exposure, green product sales, affiliate marketing income, and much, much more. EarthMom may be the first organization to combine smartphone technology with the power of social media to motivate eco-friendly behavior. Since 2006, I've been the sole contributor to the EarthMom project. With the pandemics destroying my supporting business, I'm now looking for a minimum investment of $500,000 to capitalize our project and help provide much needed infrastructure.
Okay, time's up. All right, Larry Turner, you are up next. Go ahead, Larry.
All right. Let me pull up. Okay, hello, Larry Turner, CEO of Power Level Technology. My product Aura was born out of the idea that interaction in the dating world was getting very difficult and indeed needed guidance. No more was I going to interact with an unsuspecting woman that would ultimately say no to my dating proposals. Through the years, the Aura idea has evolved into what it is today, an all-inclusive social network smartwatch with superior payment, safety, and security capabilities, in addition to GPS-enabled movement tracker and analytic reporter for customer retention, radio frequency identification, room key, and human resource solution. I wish to beta test my product Aura smartwatch in the Las Vegas, Nevada's $5 billion hospitality industry due to its potential viral marketing capabilities and potential yield of $2.5 billion US in share of market. I am seeking a seed round of 1.5 million for research and development plus patent, intellectual property, and administrative processes. I also need industry connections and mentorship. Thank you.
Okay, good time. Jacqueline, are you with us now? Jacqueline? Okay, Ryan, gonna have you go.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Miyake, founder and CEO of Rush Hour Media. As you know, a lot of businesses have been affected for COVID-19. How do those businesses see light in the end of the tunnel? We are here to help. Rush Hour Media transforms windows of storefronts into digital display billboards. We then associate them to our ad network and share part of those revenue with those businesses. We are asking $250,000 to fund 200 screens and float us for a net 90 to pay for our advertisers until our advertisers pay us.
Okay, that's 10 seconds left. Okay. Joe, are you ready? Or Jacqueline, do I have you?
I'm ready if you want me.
All right, Joe, go ahead.
All right, give me 1 second here. Hello, buenos dias, ni hao. Who knows what the second most consumed beverage in the world is after water? That would be coffee. The U.S. coffee industry as a whole is estimated at $200 billion a year, and there are approximately 125 million people in the U.S. a day that drink at least 1 cup of coffee. Now, CBD is a rapidly growing industry. CBD is short for cannabidiol. CBD is generally thought of as a health and wellness product by all generations, from millennials to baby boomers. I'm Joe Haber, CEO of Joe Cool Brands, gourmet CBD-infused coffee. It's a wordplay. Cup of Joe is coffee, CBD is cool. Joe Cool's mission is to be the #1 trusted brand of CBD coffee in the marketplace, such as Red Bull is the most recognizable and trusted brand of energy drink. We currently have $126,000 in sales and are seeking immediate capital for manufacturing and operations. We are open to equity-based, loan, or convertible funding. Contact me for a sample of our delicious gourmet CBD cups.
All right, perfect timing. Jacqueline, are you able to speak at all? Okay, so I don't show you as muted and yet we don't hear you. Okay. In that case, I don't know that we have anybody else. Let me make a verbal last call. Matthew, did you get to go?
Maggie, I've got 2 more pitches here.
Okay.
If you want us to go. All right.
You can do your 2 and then Matthew will come up and anybody else who pings me.
Okay, perfect. So either of you from the back, we've got 2.
Greetings. The most important thing that I can communicate is the website to the business plan, and that's balanceentertainment.com. That's BALANCENTERNMENT.com. I'm a graduate of the University of Southern California's Business School with a concentration in entrepreneurial ventures and marketing. My work experience stems from Walt Disney Studio in the development division. The business plan is located on the website, and we are asking for $2.5 million for 12.5% of the company, where the executive committee will work every day to ensure 120% return to the investors. There's a lot of content on the social media links, and look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, you're up. It's okay.
Okay.
Yep, just here.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Sumulpong. I am the co-founder of Vegas Combat. I am a 13-year combat veteran of the United States Army, and I'm also a contractor for the United States Air Force. At the peak of the pandemic, over 60 million people played the popular video game Call of Duty. And those 60 million people got to almost get to fantasize about being a soldier, or finally living that out. Well, this time we're actually giving you the chance to actually pick up that rifle and play soldier, okay? So Vegas Combat is gonna be a realistic, yet safe, immersive combat experience. Not only are we offering realistic equipment, but we're also giving realistic events to make either military vets, law enforcement, or just casual players feel like they're actually in the moment and they actually get to make those on-the-spot decisions. We're using the latest and greatest in military sim technology, which has realistic recoil, realistic reloading, anything that makes you create the same TTPs as an actual soldier. What we're looking for is $200,000 for the initial investment for R&D as well as real estate. Thank you.
Jacqueline, you've called in. I've promoted you again. Are you able to speak? Well, this must be very frustrating for you. I know it is for me. Can we stop the timer and reset it? Okay, Andy Tan, going to ask you to unmute. Andy, please unmute.
Yeah, yes, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Andy. I'm the co-founder of Tempo Inc. So we have the mobile app available on, it's for non-distance or mid-distance ride share. It's already available on Android and on Google Play and iOS. And right now we already have thousands of downloaders every day. So we are looking for 1 million for a 5% equity. That's it.
Okay, that's 30 seconds. It's very quick. Okay, Matthew Brill, have you gone yet?
I have not.
Okay, go for
All
it.
right. Hi, I'm Matthew Brill, CEO of Grocery Advisor. 3 quick things about me. I'm a software engineer, my stomach's bigger than my budget, and my palate likes to travel more than my feet like to shop. My repetitive fussing over recipes, prices, and availability of ingredients led to the creation of Grocery Advisor. Grocery Advisor is a web and mobile application that guides your meals from thought to table in one app. Grocery Advisor helps you find recipes, make shopping lists, learn about your ingredients, make meal plan that minimize your food waste, instantly find best prices, order deliveries, and share and track it all. We want to help budget-conscious consumers keep a little more cash in the bank. That's why we want to make Grocery Advisor available for free to our users. We will be pursuing affiliations with grocers and delivery services to collect referral fees. Grocery Advisor currently has an Android application in open beta with iOS release coming in the next few months and web following shortly after. We're seeking 200,000 seed to aid development, build our core user base, and get the Grocery Advisor word out. Thank you.
Okay, 8 seconds to spare. Okay, Startup Genie. I've asked what your name was so I could announce it, but you didn't answer me, so.
My name is Luis Torres.
It is Luis. Okay, great. Your time will be reset for 1 minute. There you go. It's yours, Luis. Go ahead.
Thank you all in attendance in Startup Nevada for your attention. I am presenting a pre-revenue proof of concept mobile application platform for the towing and roadside industry. Again, my name is Luis Torres. I'm the founder, and we're calling this mobile app Green Tow Truck. It's available in Google Play Store. Customers or users can download the app for free and use it to locate the closest service provider or / roadside company. The roadside companies can use our technology to manage their fleet via our admin dashboard. This is of great value to them. We're solving a major issue with technology and by using geolocation API encoding. There's 2 major players in the market, Hong Technology and Urgently, and they're both not, the service providers are not liking these platforms because their users are being gouged. Thank you for your time.
Okay. All right, I've tried promoting Jacqueline one more time. I actually see a mute button this time, so I'm going to ask you to unmute, Jacqueline.
Can you hear me?
Yes, finally.
Okay. My name is Jacqueline Rubito. I am the owner and lead therapist of Let's Move Physical Therapy. I was originally introduced to physical therapy in 2011 when I lost the ability to walk for 9 months, and I was in physical therapy myself for 3 months intensively. I had a great team, and I noticed how hard it was for them to work in the outpatient setting because they had to see multiple patients at a time. I was also introduced to hippotherapy or horse therapy at that time, and that's the treatment tool that helped me learn to walk again. Let's Move Physical Therapy was created in 2018 in Las Vegas and has been receiving its own contracts for the last year.
I am currently the only therapist in Las Vegas that specializes in hippotherapy and has the board certification. And I am looking to promote this type of therapy to the people of Las Vegas, and I am seeking mentorship and land.
Excellent. 3 seconds to spare. Okay, so as far as I can tell, that is everybody who wants to go. Okay.
We've got everybody who's in person here. I think we've got everybody who was hoping to go here.
Okay, so Kelly Jackson, you're the one I keep texting to see if I let you go or if I just promoted you and then demoted you and you didn't even get to speak, which is entirely possible. So if you can check out the chat window and let me know, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, we're going to turn it over to Misty and them to go ahead and... Okay, Kelly did get to go. I thought I heard you. Okay.
Okay, perfect. And we've got one more. So David Crane, if you want a chance to go, your first time around was great, but if you picked up anything over the last hour, this is the promise to the guinea pig. You get one more shot. Would you like to pitch again?
Okay, I'm just promoting him now so that he can.
No, if they could hear me.
Okay.
Yeah.
David.
David, welcome back.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. Just give me 1 second. I need to print this thing out again. I've been working on it since we started talking. So just give me 1 second.
All right, and so for anybody who's in here who I did not get your name and company, and you want to be in the voting for the 3-minute deck round, we need to get that to Jeff next door. So you two groups in the back, I didn't talk to you. I think I got everybody else. So if you wanted to be in the 3-minute deck round, you're on the list, I think.
Yeah. We have about 30 people on that list right now.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Are you ready, David?
If my printer would respond, yes. Give me a second. It's coming out now.
Okay.
Okay. I am ready.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
All right. Hi, my name is David Crane, CEO of Door to Door Health. We spend 80% of our country's $3.5 trillion annual healthcare cost on people with chronic conditions, in large part because the primary medical care system is not working, and it's created an $800 billion total addressable market for our services. We're reinventing primary medical care, launching a new kind of unlimited, home-based, tech-enabled primary medical care practice for low-income households for $49 a month. In the last 8 months, over $1.5 billion has been invested in just 5 primary care companies, and this is just the beginning. Our team has launched other healthcare companies with 2 exits, including a large primary care practice handling over 140,000 patient encounters per year. We have patient referral relationships in place now, representing over 70,000 prospective patients with $20,000 in monthly revenue expected at launch. We're raising a $1 million seed round that will drive growth to 3 states, 12,000 patients, and fuel a 15x valuation increase leading to our next round.
Oh, good.
Nicely done. Very good. I know what you do now, and it makes sense to me. I get it, and I think I could repeat it. So
perfect.
Great job. Anybody else?
Got your checkbook?
I've only seen that happen once, where an investor got out a checkbook during a meeting and wrote a check. It's only happened once. I've been doing this almost 20 years. So it could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight.
Usually not from a one.
So show of hands in this room, like first to the last, compared. Did you get a better sense of what Dave's doing this time? Yeah, so you're getting a lot of nods. So good, very good. All right, so we're gonna do 2 things now. If you're in the online environment, you will have access to a poll. I don't know how we work it out for people in the room, but if you can log into the Zoom on your phone, you can vote. That might work? I think that would work.
Yeah, as long as I can figure out how to share the poll.
Launch the poll. So while Jeff's figuring that out, if you're in Zoom, if you need the Zoom information, I think we've got it here. Do I have it in here, Jeff? Or can we put it on the screen?
What's that?
the Zoom login information for people who are in the room so they can log in both?
It's on the board right behind you.
Okay, so it's this.
And the password is not those numbers. It's actually Nevada with a capital N.
All right, so it's this, it's the number, it's 812-087-80261. You need all that? That seems like too many numbers.
Yeah, lots of stuff happening all at once.
If you could have Raj bring it in for us to write on this board, I'll go ahead and get started with the debrief. All right, overall great job. I'm going to give some overarching comments so that I can jump over and help while the other judges give you feedback, so we can get those three deals picked, so we can do the 3-minute round. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my feedback first. Most everybody spent too much time on their technical solution. Most everybody. Most everybody spent 20, 30, 40, even all of their time talking about what their product does. Many of your presentations sound very much like a sales pitch that you give to a customer, right? You're not selling product to a customer. You're selling your company to an investor, right? So we got to think about what we're selling a little bit differently. Some specific feedback. All right, if you're in here, you need to turn your volume down, please. I get a lot of feedback. So just even shutting the volume down will help. Okay, I heard one person towards the end, like this is tough. Like I don't know what we heard, 50 pitches tonight, it's a lot. One person right towards the end said, thank all of you for your attention, right? Well, I think I only heard one person say thank you, right? I was back and forth a little bit, so that's a nice thing to do. It was engaging. I actually saw people's eyes light up a little bit, shoulders perked up a little bit. Oh, he's talking to me, right? Several people said, I asked a question to lead off. Have you ever, and if we're doing it in person, we use our hand because people naturally see your hand go up, they want to be part of the club, right? Yeah, me, pick me. And then there were some other things that I heard 3 times. This has never been done before. Never been done before sounds like, I don't have any competition. I don't have any competition tells me like one of maybe 3 things as an investor. 1, we're ready to do an IPO because if there's demand for this and you're the only one in the whole world who's got it and this market magically appeared overnight, we definitely want to be in on the ground floor of that before you go public. That is almost never the case. I've never actually seen that happen, not even once. What it usually means is you haven't done your homework, or you don't understand who your competition is, or you don't really, there's no demand for your product at all. If there's no demand, I definitely don't want to be part of selling that. Sorry, guys. I was going to ask if it would be better if you guys don't watch the other room. All right, a couple of other comments. Somebody said the words, businesses are switching over, which tells me as an investor you've got sales, but you didn't say you have sales. You're making me work hard, but that was good information. Somebody else said, I'm an electrician, you probably paid me. Nobody else said anything like that, and I got this immediate sense of credibility. Somebody else said, we're looking for $200,000 to never drop your phone on your face again. And the comment made several of us chuckle, and I will remember it and come looking for you the next time I drop my phone on my face, right? So look for ways that you can provide a little bit of memorability to what you're doing, right? So there was a lot of those things. There was somebody who had a mental health app. There's a mental health solution. There was a woman who talked about that. Like most calming voice in the universe. That was awesome, right? Like I was totally like, oh, whatever you're selling, I want some, you're doing mental health thing, I want some to like watch that all over me. So realize that your voice is powerful, what you're selling, how you demonstrate your product and the way you show up is wonderful. Several people said that they had patents. Patents are great because they're defensible. There's something that has value and adds value to what you're doing. I probably have some other notes too. Somebody said, you can find me on LinkedIn. I have 7,000 followers. And I was like, oh my gosh, he has 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. If he is doing a software play and he's trying to generate users. He obviously knows how to do that. I'm interested, but I'm not sure the rest of what he said shared that part. And then I'm sure that our other judges have lots of things. So I'm going to leave you with this one thing, and then I'm going to go help Jeff with the picking of the companies for the next round and get that set up as we have some discussion from our other judges, and hopefully we can promote all of our judges to panelists now, and they can give some feedback to everybody. I heard really cool things. I heard of healthcare projects, I heard environmental projects, I heard consumer packaged goods and other consumer goods. I heard about things that make a difference in the world. Things that are faster, better, cheaper than your competition, things that move the needle in big ways. And that's why we're really here. That's why I do the work. That's why I play in this space. It's because I absolutely 100% believe that entrepreneurs save the world. One little thing at a time. In creative ways. All right, last comment, and then I'll hand it over to the other judges. Apron guy, come up here. Apron guy, I didn't catch your name. This is Apron guy. I did not catch your name.
JP with the wall.
Okay, you did say it, now it's familiar. I didn't catch the company name, but you did a whole bunch of things right. You brought your product, you held it up, you demoed it for us, even in a minute. And you're like, crap, I've had that exact thing where the apron's on the and I don't even cook. And like, my head, like that was brilliant. I think you were the only one who demoed, so I just want to give you some props. Name of the company?
Apron tie.
Apron tie.
Apron tie.
Apron tie. Apron tie, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, I'll hand it over to the other judges. Jeff, somebody if you want to lead, and I'll come help figure out the 3-minute round.
Great. I thought there were some standouts in the group, and I think we're going to let the voting kind of decide what it is. So overall, like Misty, I was totally impressed with all the different high-quality ideas and founders that we have with us, both in the room and online tonight. I think almost everybody. I don't think there was a single person that forgot to mention their name and their company, which. I know that sounds weird, but that happens a lot, where somebody just dives right in, doesn't tell us who they are, doesn't tell us what the name of their company is. So good on that. There are, I think practice makes perfect, right? So there was clearly some folks that had practiced and polished a bit more than others, and I think that's a lesson to all of us to be practiced and polished. And there's a lot of different ideas here. There's a lot of local businesses here that are awesome. There's businesses that could get really big here that have capacity to spread all over the globe and help a lot of different kinds of customers out. So I think that's all good stuff. I can't wait to see how the voting turns out. I have my favorites, but I'm not going to share them. So we will see from there. Do we want to call on our other judges?
So yeah, whoever would like to start?
Hello?
We're getting a lot of feedback, whatever's happening.
Yeah, we're going to mute the room. We're going to mute the pitching room. I think that's where we're hearing some echoes.
Yeah, they can get in echoes.
And I will say to the people we did not put every single person who pitched on the list automatically. Only the people who said they wanted to possibly pitch in the 3-minute round were added to the list as best we could. So if for some reason you didn't get added to this list, then come back again when we do pitch night again, and we'll do it again. So I think there were 30, I don't know exactly how many companies pitched. There were 70, there were 75 or 80 people on the call, plus all of us in the room. So there's about 100 of us. And we had 30 companies that stuck their hand up, either with Maggie or shared a note with Misty, who shared it with me and put you on the poll. So if for some reason we missed you, we'll get you on the poll next time. So Jose.
We seem to have an audience favorite in Joe, the CBD coffee guy. Joe Haber.
Okay, well, Joe didn't ask to be put on the poll, so we'll have to take it as a possible write-in candidate. All right, Jose, I've been talking, so go ahead and offer your commentary.
Well, first I wanted to say, thank you for putting this on, and thanks to everyone that did present. It is, I also believe that entrepreneurs are, really what make this country great. I'm an attorney because, I'm not smart enough to come up with good ideas. So, but I am good enough to protect people's ideas. With that said, I think, it's a tough thing to do it in all in 1 minute. So I think no matter how good you do, there are always things you can, improve, because it really depends on what you're trying to pitch, and you can't fit everything in 1 minute. I think generally the issue I had was the business model wasn't always clear in a lot of different pitches. I think I agree with, but there was a lot about the technical solution, when sometimes I would see, okay, there's the solution, but how does it make money? I also think if you can repeat, it is a short time, so you don't have too much time, but it's a lot of it. I think with the 1 minute is about being memorable, is about kind of hitting hard with what you have. So maybe your idea, whatever can stand out about your idea, and then really, say who are you in the beginning, and then for me, just a quick repetition at the end, because a lot of times I pay attention, and then I'd forget who that what the name was, since it all was going by so quickly. Also, I think enthusiasm, commitment is really important. If an investor is going to be looking for someone that's really committed to their idea and loves their idea. So showing some enthusiasm is always great. And I think that goes along with the comment about practicing, because that helps you in showing, that enthusiasm that you have. And that's generally, those are my comments. I don't know if anyone else has anything else.
Hi, this is Maisha Williams. Should I jump in now, Jeff and Misty?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Thanks, Maggie. So as an investor listening to the pitch, is really impressed. I know it's a lot of pressure to be on the spot. Really appreciate that everybody did such a good job kind of in this first round, and excited to see future rounds. What I would say that stood out for me in listening to these is it'd be really helpful if you clearly state your name and the business at the outset, because as we're trying to take notes and listen, some of them were missed, and it's really a missed opportunity to kind of get that brand out there from the outset. I would also say that the use of acronyms are really hard to follow. If we're not familiar with it, but you're over familiar with it, I know that that's an easy mistake to make, but if we can make sure to spell those out so that we can follow along. Also just speak slowly and clearly. Some of the more rushed pitches were harder to follow, so although there was tons of good information, it can be hard to hear. And then I would just say the one thing that really stood out to me is when you can find something that you can identify with, something that's common to a lot of people. Even as I was talking here with Deirdre, we're talking about how some of the things that stood out to us are the things that we see or can touch or have experienced on a daily basis. And that stands out in the pitches. And then lastly, how am I going to get my investment back? So I thought that you all did a phenomenal job, but just things to keep in mind as we're listening to these, some of the things that we're listening for.
So Maggie, this is Bill. Can I jump in?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. Fascinating group of companies. I mean, the mix is very broad. I have literally 3 or 4 pages worth of notes that I took on each one of you. Oh, not on each one of you, but over all the different presentations. One thing I would say when you're doing a 1-minute pitch is that you're trying to tell a story, and you're trying to be conversational, and you want something when you're presenting that 1 minute pitch, there has to be a hook in there somewhere. So, just like Misty was saying, you know, things that caught her eye, or her ear, essentially, that made her remember. So I'd just call it a hook. But I think at the end, it's a tone, you know, conversation, and an upbeat tone helps more than anything else. In terms of the things that I was looking for, there were 6 metrics, you know, that somehow you have to cover, and it's hard, and it's very hard not to spend too much time in one area. And just like was mentioned, the solution and the problem tended to be too long instead of moving on to the other parts, which is where the investor is really focusing. They get the problem, they get the solution. Now tell me how I'm going to make money. That's the business side. What's your market look like? Is there any competition out there? And then, in terms of the ask, it could be any number of different things, from money to mentorship, etc. So, and the final issue also that investors focus on very closely is the team. Do you have a team that will allow you to scale your business? But other than that, it was a great job. Back to you.
Okay. How are we doing in the bullpen there? Somebody's asking, can you do a pitch next time? Absolutely. Even the people who went this time can go again next time. This is a process. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be with it.
All right. So we have the results of the poll, and it was close. There was, I mean, the top 6 were within a vote or 2 of each other. But by the numbers, the top 3 are David from Door to Door, Ali from The Good Elephant, and Krista B from Sugarloaf, which is awesome.
So here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. The 3 of you, we're gonna promote to panelists, and then we're gonna do the 3-minute pitches, and the judges are gonna jump in and give us a lot more feedback. So we expect you to share your slides and stay on the 3 minutes. We're still gonna cut the time off at 3 minutes. We just won't be able to see the timer.
So if there are any of the 3 of you, David, Ali, or Krista B, that changed your mind and don't want to pitch, put it in chat now so we can move on to our 4th and 5th placers. Otherwise, we'll expect to be starting again in how long?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. We're going to go on mute for 4 minutes. And for those of you here in Vegas, we have some awesome and healthy snacks, candy and chips that could be served in individual packets. There's also some water in the fridge. But everybody else has to be on your own, and we will see you back here in 4 minutes at...
We can see it in here. It's perfect. Thank you.
Well, I guess since we have Ali slides up first.
Yes, she gets to go first.
Woohoo!
And then we're going to have Krista B go, and then David he started us. He's going to take us home for landing too.
So we're going to, the way we're going to do the timing, instead of trying to put up a giant timer and we won't be able to see your slides, is when you start, Ali, I'm going to turn on my timer, and I'm going to just call out when you get to, when you have 1 minute left and when you have 10 seconds left.
Okay, I actually have my own timer on my phone right here, so that's fine if you don't even want to. I'll just do it.
Right, then you'll hear my thing beeping at the end.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Am I starting?
Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
You can start.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm the founder of Good Elephant, and we are an online platform that is changing the yoga industry using community-powered technology. So due to COVID-19 and BLM call-outs, thousands of yoga studios have already closed permanently in the United States, leaving teachers and communities displaced with nowhere to go. And so There are about 55 million of these people who are projected to practice yoga this year, and about 250,000 yoga teachers in the United States. So that equals about 200 people per teacher, and these teachers are not necessarily entrepreneurial or tech savvy, but they're making guesses about what, when, where to offer their classes, but they're still having trouble filling their classes. And so what Good Elephant has done for the last 2 years is we have created a place where teachers can connect with their community outside of a yoga studio. We connect our teachers with local host spaces through the Good Elephant app. And the way we make money is on both sides of our platform. So we charge a $2 service fee every time someone makes a transaction on the Good Elephant app. And then we also have a subscription model for our teachers. In the last couple of years after our pre-seed round, we were able to launch our app, grow to 2.3 thousand members on the app, and about 100 monthly paying attendees. We're in 3 cities and online, and we have about 30 teachers paying that subscription. And so through doing this, we've noticed another issue that's still popping up, which is what I described before, where teachers are having trouble filling their classes while people are really looking for the right class at the right time. And so what we're building on top of the platform that we've built is this data-driven, community-powered platform that uses data around people's preferences, availability, and location to organically generate class opportunities for teachers. And so through doing this for the last couple of years, we know exactly the teachers that we're looking for, exactly the people who are coming to classes, and we really understand how we're going to reach them. We're raising $1.5 million, and that will give us 15 months to grow our team, scale the platform, so we have enough demand for that community-powered technology when we launch it in Q2 of next year. We have the best team for the job. We have experience in the industry, and many of our team members have been involved in startups before and have had their own successful exits and rounds of funding. And we'll know that we're successful when we exit, when we plan to in 5 years. We plan to do around 130 million in 2025 and help 30,000 teachers earn a living through our platform. Thank you.
Okay, very nice. Panel, I don't know if we're giving immediate feedback or if we're taking them all at the end.
Yes, we're doing immediate feedback.
Take it away.
Ali, I want you to keep your slides up.
Okay.
And then would you go back a couple of slides?
Where to?
One more, this one. So the one that says a community-powered platform. Okay, I want you to close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to say a community-powered platform, but I want you to say it right at the end of your T.
A community-powered platform.
Okay. Now I want to hear you say it again, but I want you to use that spot the little notch in the back of your neck. I want to hear the sound come from there. Say it again. A community-powered platform, but really think about using the very back of your neck down deep in your throat.
A community. Just kidding. A community-powered platform.
Okay, great. I want you to do it one more time, but I want you to pull it all the way down below your lungs, way down deep. Like think about where your diaphragm's at. I want you to say it again. A community-powered platform, really deep.
A community-powered platform.
Okay, great. This is not about like a gender thing or anything else, but I want to feel the power come out of you because what you're saying is really powerful and worth listening to. And it was a little bit sing-songy, right? It's obviously a comfortable cadence in a conversation, but I want to see you like own the room a little bit. So just overall a piece about that.
Thank you.
Are you in sales? Do you have sales already?
Yes, we're post-revenue.
Okay. I maybe just missed that little bit, but I would definitely. Investors are always excited to see folks that have sales. I understand that your business model has two pieces, a user piece and also a teacher piece. So you've got two revenue streams, which is pretty awesome. And then can you go to your ask slide? This was great. The traction slide was really great, by the way.
Thanks. But
Yeah,
I guess I need to be more clear that we are post-revenue on the traction side. Okay.
Right? So, and you can do that quickly with a graph. Like, here's where we are year to date. Even if your sales are $100,000 or whatever, your sales don't have to be in the like gigantic numbers to start. So the fact that you have sales means you have credibility. You've proven that it works. You know, like people are paying with their dollars, like they're voting with their wallets. That's like all that stuff is great. I like your ask slide here, but the important part to me as an investor is at the bottom. I'm looking for that mix, that operations versus marketing versus the technology. And to me, new cities is also part of marketing.
Okay.
So I would combine those or show them as part of the same area of the pie, but I would flip the spacing for that one.
Okay.
And your team slide is messy. So go on.
Too much.
I actually like that you put your ask slide before your team slide. That's great. But you were on this slide for maybe, I don't know, 15 seconds or something. And so it's fine if you want to leave it this way, but investors typically don't care what titles you've assigned to people. They care what your performance has been in the past. So even in a quick slide, like in a 1 minute or a 3 minute slide or a 3 minute deck, you can say things like, our team has combined 110 years of experience, and as a group we've raised $150 million and we've had 5 successful exits as a group. We've been working together for 3 years, and we've worked together somewhere else. We came, you know, like you can. I don't know what your particular story is about that, but there's like all kinds of great ways that you can punch up what you're doing by showing like what all you've got in terms of team. So anyway, I can tell by the amount of text on here that there's a lot, but it's not giving me the information I want to know as an investor.
Yeah,
other judges, jump in. And by the way, great job. The slides are beautiful. Like there's a whole bunch of things that are wonderful, but I want to focus on the things that could get in your way.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, other judges, please jump in.
So I'm trying to jump in. So I'm going to be short and sharp. I'm going to look at this purely from an investment perspective because I think that's what you're looking for.
Yes, please.
As I agree with everything that Misty said. But as an investor, the things that weren't obvious to me were, what are your sales? How does that relate to the $1.5 million that you're asking for? Because I follow the sort of general guideline that if you're asking for seed level funding, which you are, that the revenue should be in the top line should be in the $500,000 a year category, or closing in on it, or I should see an easy path to it. And I just I couldn't figure it out from the information that you presented. And that's something that I would want more clarity on. Would be the very first questions that I asked if we were in a real pitch session. So what is your revenue? How do you come up, how are you coming up with your valuation and all the rest of that stuff? So that's, because I want to make sure that if I'm going to put in some or all of that 1.5, as an angel, I'm thinking I need to figure out how I'm going to get to at least 10x or more return on my money in 5 to 7 years. And if I'm not seeing a path to that, I'm either going to lose interest or start pushing for information that helps me understand that.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Great job. Great job. Great slides.
Other judges?
This is Bill. Could you go to, I think it was your go to market at maybe 1 or 2 slides back? Yeah. Lots of information here. I know in 3 minutes it gets passed over pretty quick. But where I'm most interested as well as an investor would be not necessarily the go to market, but when you talked about your market, what kind of competition do you have? You know, What's your differentiation in terms of your platform versus any others that are out there? That really wasn't made too clear in your presentation.
Okay, great, good to know. Here's our competition slide, which I usually have in the pitch deck. Can you see this?
I still see.
We still see your go-to-market slide.
Oh well. But thank you so much. I do have a competition slide that I usually include in a longer deck, but it's good to know that that's more important.
Yeah, you can just mention it. You know, you can say, these are our competition. We're head over heels, above them because of these metrics. Boom, you're done. You don't even have to put the slide up.
Okay.
So, and I want to point out just to everybody, your ability to take the feedback is appreciated. So I almost always say, like, don't argue with the investor. Don't try and answer the question. This is the perfect time to say, I would love to tell you more about that. Can we go for coffee? Right? So even if you have the perfect answer, the good answer is always, thank you, can I talk to you about that? You know, even if you know the answer and you can say, hey, I've thought about that. Can I sit down and walk you through what we've got? That's one more way you can get in front of an investor for a second time. Other judges? Okay, I would just say the last two closing comments. I love what you've got here. If you want to blow my mind, when you talk about sales, tell me what your customer acquisition costs are and what your lifetime value is, and tell me how my money is going to expedite that. You know, for $1 million, we can cut our customer acquisition costs in half, and our funnel shrinks to from whatever 18 days to 12 days, whatever that is, and the lifetime value. So you may have all of that here, but if you can, so you've got it. It's on there.
Cool, but I'll be sure to emphasize that.
Yep.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, whatever is happening now is very garbled and noisy and not discernible.
I think that's
Oh,
Jeff, two mics in the other room. Yeah, I think the CAC to LTV ratio is a big thing for subscription models. So, I mean, there's this.
Oh, can you mute the room? There's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, the second room is causing feedback.
Not in that room, I think.
Okay, great.
There we go. Yeah, a CAC to LTV ratio, yours is insane. I mean, that's crazy high. Usually you're looking for something that's like sort of 5 or 6 to 1 on the low end, 20 to 1 on the high end, and yours is like crazy. I would push hard to make sure that that's right, because it just seems
okay
nuts. Like the LTV, I don't know how long of a lifetime that you're thinking about there, but it seems like it's too high.
Okay.
So
good to know.
Okay, I think we're done with the feedback. If there's somebody in the room over there with Misty that's still logged into the webinar, if you could just have the only device logged in being that big giant screen in the front of the room, I think that would help us with our feedback problem.
Thank you for the feedback, everybody. Thank you for.
Thanks. Great job, Allie.
Amazing job. It's actually super great deck.
Thank you.
All right. So who's up? So you can stop sharing now, Allie. Who's up next?
Krista B is up and she's unmuted and ready to roll. Go ahead and share whatever you have there.
Okay. Let me see if I got this right. Nope, that's not quite right.
Krista, do you want me to shout out when you got a minute left, or do you have it?
I should be good. I have my timer going as well, which actually I just moved to the side. Okay, I'm ready.
Time you're ready, hit it.
Oh, hey. So, hi, I'm Krista B. Jackson, the founder of Sugar Love. We create classic confections with a modern twist. What's the modern twist? Our flavors of brittles range from classic, like peanut brittle, to exciting and challenging flavors, like bourbon pecan or chipotle cashew. Did you know that peanut brittle is the oldest confection in the world? And with good reason, especially when it's made with real ingredients. These candies are perfect for customers who miss their grandma's touch in the kitchen, and yet who are interested in the growing trends of today. The major trends in the food industry that we're focused on is real ingredients, in other words, nothing you can't pronounce or identify, and exploring the world through taste. Focusing on older millennials and younger boomers, we're building a brand for shelves to your mid to high-end range grocery stores. Think Raley's and Nob Hill, not Whole Foods and Smith's. If you look at our closest competing sections like chocolate bars or cookies, you'll see dozens of brands, both new and old, that offer hundreds of SKUs that all have different value propositions. There are those traditional goodies, but also brands that explore novel flavors and those that use interesting substitute ingredients. Think cacao nibs instead of chocolate. In the category of hard candy, though, you'll see almost only brands that have been around for decades, and their only proposition is their classic recipe and taste. This category is ripe for diversification, and Sugarlove is ready to meet the demand. Sugarlove has been operating as a retail-focused business for the past 5 years with over $500K in revenue in that time. And now we are focused on growing the wholesale distribution. Currently, we're able to meet demand in-house, but as expansion increases, we expect to partner with a co-packer. Me personally, I've been in the chocolate and confection industry since 2004. That's when customers still thought that Hershey's was a good chocolate. And I've been watching the trends at trade shows and on shelves since then. This is my second full-time business, with my first being a small but successful sale after a few years. While I have experience at a retail level and a proven product line of addictive treats, I'm looking for an advisory board that can help scale our brand and distribution as we reach larger markets. And hopefully within the coming year, we will be looking for investment to grow Sugarlove's reach beyond our current market with marketing and sales outreach, and an expected exit in mind of selling to a larger food brand like Mars. So spread some Sugarlove today. And that's it.
Okay, Misty, do you want to respond first?
We didn't see the slides advance.
That's because I didn't have any slides. I really didn't expect to be picked. I was so sad that I didn't prepare some slides in advance. Especially going after Allie's, which were so beautiful. I was like, here's just a picture of my product.
This is not a bad start. So not a bad start. Obviously, we'd like to see the slide. Other judges, you want to jump in on some of these things?
I think that's my primary ask. And by the way, if you've never had her chocolates, they're amazing. So great presentation, but I think you need to bake it into the traditional pitch topics that you saw Allie present. Yeah. And I think that's the primary ask that I would have at this time. I think you've got the guts of what you want to do thought out in your head. Now you just have to present it.
Thank you.
Present it in a way that investors are used to seeing it. Any other judges?
Yeah, I'll just,
go ahead.
Sorry, Bill, you can go.
No, go ahead.
So I was going to say that I spent a bit of time differentiating the market of the hard candies, but I'm not sure what's so different about it. And so that's just something that stood out to me as wondering, why is that? Why are those companies ones that have been around for a long time? Why is it ripe for a change? What's so reliable about that? How does it actually differentiate? I was really curious about that.
Thank you. Sorry, you didn't know. Should I answer that question or just take it as feedback?
Take it as feedback for tonight. Yeah, we would love to have you answer it, but with slides another time.
Okay, thank you.
So this is Bill. The one thing about the beginning of your presentation, regardless of whether all the slides there or not, you didn't really say why you wanted to start the business, which would tie back to what's the problem and here's my solution. I got lost, you know, because it took you a while and you kind of finally came around to the problem. I think you need to kind of state the problem very clearly, whatever it is in your mind. Why did you start the business? There was something that made you start the business. And then, you know, you came up with this particular style of chocolates. There was a reason why. That wasn't clear to me at all. And then as, you know, when you manufacture these slides to try to fit the various facets, remember a picture is worth 1,000 words. Whatever that particular slide is trying to get across, that picture will help them understand it. So keep that in mind. That's a little bit of a trick, but that's pretty much what I have. I just got lost in the problem and solution at the beginning.
Okay, thank you.
Krista, I want to ask you, because I'm not an auditory person, so if I can't see some things with it, it's just really, really rough for me. Help me understand, and this is a question, well, it's maybe a yes-no question. Does the business have the potential to scale, or are you looking at just automating some of your operations, moving into a bigger space? Like, I'm trying to figure out what kind of investor you're looking for.
That's fair. No, I'm looking to scale. We've been doing retail for the past 5 years and, you know, making it kicking and screaming work. And so now we're shifting to more wholesale and looking to expand, almost like a boom chicka pop type of brand.
Got it. Okay, that's helpful to know. I was going to say, if just for the audience, if you're doing something else that isn't going to hit like a 10x return in 5 years, at least, you know, we're probably looking for ideally a 30 or a 50x return. If you're not going to be able to hit a return like that, a revenue redemption model might be a great model for you. So also angel investor, smaller trade for equity, repayment based on revenue. So that just for everybody's sake, we spend a lot of time on the angel space, and the angel space is awesome, but businesses like yours can scale in other ways too. Other judges.
I'll throw one last comment in. When you said that you'd like to be acquired by Mars, it would be nice to know, it's like, yeah, we want to be acquired by Mars in 5 years for this, because we've seen them acquire these other similar companies to grow their business. Because, I mean, I would assume any candy company would want to be acquired by Mars. If they have an example would be.
Yeah. Could I ask just a quick question of the panel in general? So the food industry and brands in general are not as popular among most investors. Do you suggest finding people that really focus in that industry, or trying to educate investors as to the acquisitions that happen in this industry all the time?
That's a super good question. We should spend a whole night on it.
Sorry.
One other thing that you could do, like I don't think we can answer it here is what I'm saying, but we'll go back and review it and see if we can't put, I mean, it's a good question. If somebody's got the short answer, that'd be great.
It's always easier to go with somebody who's got an interest in your business or in your area already. But that doesn't mean you can't recruit others. The shorter path is definitely going for somebody who's investing in foods or confections, or if there is such an angel or a fund that does that kind of thing, that's great. If you follow the revenue redemption route that Misty was suggesting, then it doesn't really matter. It becomes purely a financial issue at that point. Can your sales support it?
And in an environment like this, one of the things we probably really haven't talked about yet is the network here among other people in the room, other entrepreneurs, is super powerful to you. So in a pitch decon environment, or when you're doing this with crowds, never hurts to ask for people who've got connections. So if you just said, I'm looking for, like, we want to sell to Mars, we're looking for connections to major industry. I have a client who is a customer of Mars, and they're not on the food side. I also have a connection, a guy who consults for me, who was a vice president at Nestle and led the Willy Wonka line. So I'm like, people in this room are gonna have connections like that, because there will be weird ones. You know, my uncle worked for Clorox, and they know a guy who knows a guy. you have no idea how small the world is until you lay out there what you need. So don't be afraid to ask for those kinds of connections as well, because those can be as powerful as money.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Other judges? Okay, do we have the third one?
Yes, David is ready to go.
Perfect.
I'm here. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, go ahead and start sharing too.
I would love to, if I gotta find, the heck is it? All right, well, I'm gonna try this. Ah, that's why it was hidden. Whoops,
David,
that's not it.
David, do you want a countdown? Do you want a 1 minute?
Yeah, give me just a second, because for some reason it's not showing.
Well, we're seeing
all right.
something now.
Okay.
And now we're not.
Oh, you had it?
We had it, and now it's gone.
Now you got it?
We saw your one sheet. We're not seeing anything.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get the deck up. Okay, now let's do it. Okay, you have it now?
Yes, there you go. You just want to put it in slideshow mode.
Yeah, I am. Thanks.
And do you want a 1 minute warning, or are you keeping your time yourself?
No, you can go ahead and shoot me a 1 minute warning.
All right, I'll just say it. I'll unmute and say 1 minute.
All right, thank you. All right, are you ready to start?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Hi, I'm David Crane, co-founder and CEO of Door to Door Health. We spend 80% of our country's $3.5 trillion annual healthcare cost on people with chronic conditions, in large part because primary medical care isn't working. And it's created an $800 billion total addressable market and a $69 billion serviceable market for our services. We're reinventing primary medical care, launching a new kind of unlimited, home-based, tech-enabled primary care service for $49 a month that makes medical care convenient, affordable, and for lower-income households, saving our clients money and saving hundreds of billions of dollars in healthcare costs, all while reducing operating costs by 30% compared to traditional primary care practices. And we approach 60% gross margins, previously unheard of in primary care. Investors see huge potential returns in the primary care space. In the last 8 months alone, over $1.5 billion has been invested in just 5 primary care companies. And this is just the beginning to serve over 300 million Americans. Our leadership team has launched 4 healthcare companies with 2 exits, including one of the largest primary care practices in the state of Nevada, serving over 40,000 patients and handling over 140,000 patient encounters per year. Door to Door Health has a revenue-generating pilot running in Las Vegas now, and patient referral and marketing partnerships in place today, like the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority, PAM Rehabilitation Hospitals, and University Medical Center, representing over 70,000 prospective patients in the Las Vegas market, with $20,000 in monthly revenue expected at general launch. We expect to break even in third quarter of 2021. Competitively, there are 3 kinds of new medical care providers: bricks and mortar primary care practices like One Medical and Iora Health. I call these consumer experience practices because they offer things like yoga studios and concierge memberships, but they're still reliant on patients coming to them and practicing traditional primary care. There are mobile urgent care companies like companies or episodic sick visits with no ongoing relationship, no care plan development or formal follow-up. Door to Door Health delivers the convenience of home visits, the comprehensive primary care service of a brick and mortar practice, all while reducing operating costs and charging a more affordable price than any of our competitors. We're raising a $1 million seed round at a $3 million pre-money valuation that will drive our growth over the next 12 months to 3 states, 12,000 patients, and fuel a 15x valuation increase, leading to our Series A round of funding and a national rollout with $91 million in revenue by 2024. Thank you for listening, and I'll take any questions that you have.
Okay.
Nicely done. So questions or comments from the judges?
Well, David, you hit on all the investor points. I think you've been out pitching, so it's pretty clear that you talked about how much your valuation is going to increase and the leverage that you're getting out of it. So so good for that. I liked most of the slides, and they were clear, and you hit on all the main points. I think the only thing that I still was left wanting more from, and it's just, we just didn't, 3 minutes is hard, is to understand the sort of the revenue trajectory and the logical leaps you were making in terms of hitting some of those numbers and getting the valuation down the line. And I'll chalk it up to not just having not enough time. And the other thing that I would like to see is, since it's a subscription business, the CAC to LTV comparison and ratios are always good to have in any subscription business.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Can you go to your competition slide?
I'm sorry?
Can you go back to your competition slide?
Yeah.
Again, 3 minutes is really hard, especially when you're doing something complicated like that. So, can I use this just for a teaching moment?
Sure.
This is how we see competition slides a lot. This is a pretty decent looking one. Across the top, a lot of times we'll see these turned, the top, I'm pointing for everybody else, I'm pointing at that very top row. We'll see those turned into logos, right? So Door-to-Door Health is saying that compared to their competition, they're doing a better job than all of their competitors, like in these areas. My chief complaint about this is it's very feature focused, it's not benefit focused. So it was great. You kind of spent some time on this slide. It was super helpful. I got some idea, but I was spending a lot of time saying, what does Medicare cash pricing mean to me? I'm not in this space. I'm not doing like medical SaaS stuff. Like, how am I trying to translate that into, are they faster and better and cheaper than their competition? So that would be my one bit of advice on your competition slide. Switch it up for logos and shift it from features to benefits. Now, if you're only pitching to people who totally are in this space, great, but I don't think that's where you're at. Can we go to the next slide, slide 8, your impact investing? I think this is your ask slide, right?
Yes.
But as an investor, you're making me work super hard because you didn't put it in a format that I can wrap my head around. So 50% growth to me means marketing and sales. I expect to see the marketing and sales component of an ask be at this stage 50 to 75 or 50 to 80% of the total ask is going to be for marketing and sales and growth-based things, because to be able to scale, the answer is almost always a sales play, right? So if you can just shift this slide into something that looks more familiar, or if you can talk to it that way, you're making my head work harder than it needs to be able to get to a yes. Overall, it's great. So for everybody in the room, Dave, you probably already know this, but in terms of, I like that you have your MMR there. I think it was like 21,000 a month or something like that. But if you can start to think about, are you on track? I don't know how long you've been doing that. It's a great number, but if you've done it 3 months, and it stayed flat, that's not a super great thing. We want to see that continue to grow, and for SaaS especially, or this type of platform, we really want to see it grow exponentially. So rule of thumb is triple, triple, double, double, double on ARR. So we really want to see, like, show me what the path is, where you're at in that trajectory, or show me how my investment helps you get there, right? So if my investment of, what are you looking for, 2.5 million?
$1 million in the seed.
$1 million in the seed. If you're looking for $1 million in the seed, how does my $1 million help you increase those users, decrease your customer acquisition costs, decrease your time to customer, or improve your LTV? right? So like, you can do that with graphs, you can do it with pictures, you could do it by telling me a story as part of it. And then a 3-minute pitch, a story is not a bad way to go.
Okay.
And if you're working with somebody, I'm guessing if you've got 14,000 users, you've got a medical system that's adopted you, or Medicare is running you as a pilot, or there's probably some big customer in there that I would be really excited about if I understood it.
That was our goal for the end of the year. We have a small pilot running now, so that slide was maybe misleading in the way it's positioned, if you took it that way.
Yep, I took it that way. All right, I'm sorry, that was a lot. Somebody else jump in.
Yeah, this is Jose. So, I actually have a lot of healthcare background. I was a general counsel for a small healthcare system before, so I know a lot about this space. I guess I like the competition slide a lot because it helped me know more about what you're doing, because I am still a little confused because I saw this mobile primary care. So what I'm wondering, is it more like telehealth, where where the doctors are providing the service, over your webcam, or is it the doctor coming to visit the home? That's one thing that I'm unclear on.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of question I want you to ask so that I can get with you for a 45-minute discussion.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. It does get a lot more questions, because then there's a lot more issues, as you know, that come about either direction.
So it's both, by the way. It's a home visit from a care provider, and we incorporate. It's a tech-enabled platform behind that, which includes everything from telehealth to remote patient monitoring to secure messaging to the ability to read Bluetooth devices in your home, so we can monitor your pill taking and you're stepping on the scale every single day.
Okay. And then, did you mention whether your app is HIPAA compliant?
I did not, but that would also be a question, and it certainly is. Everything we do is HIPAA secure.
Okay. I mean, overall, this is really interesting.
Thanks. Hook us up with some of your contacts, because we can help them all.
Yeah. Where are you based out of?
The pilot's in Vegas. I'm in New York.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, as a healthcare person, it's like there's a lot of questions here.
Good. I like questions.
Yeah, this is Bill. I'm kind of on the opposite side of that approach. Sometimes it's better to just say, this is what it does. And if they want to know more, they'll still ask, I think. If they want to know, they have a basic understanding of telehealth, at least at this point, most people do. The question is, how do you differentiate yourself versus other? That's where the questions to me come in. How are you different? And how is that going to scale versus any others that are already out there? I wonder if you could go back, what is it, maybe 1-2 slides? One more. Yeah, this one. I was listening to you and then trying at the same time to read some of the verbiage on the slide and connect the dots with what you were saying, but I couldn't do that. You were making statements that I couldn't find here. I mean, my point is, on a slide, if you're going to present it, there's something there you want them to take away. There's something there that you want them to remember. And so you want to emphasize it, either by, making it stand out, or you're going to say it, and somewhere the verbiage is there, and if they get the deck, they'll see it later. I got kind of lost in what this slide was trying to tell me versus what you were trying to tell me.
Yeah, I can understand that. This slide is part of our longer presentation and has a completely different script. I kind of shoved it into this 3-minute thing and didn't do a very good job of matching the script to the slide. I am sorry about that.
No worries. I would caution you on all of your slides that make sure that whatever you're telling them when you put it up there,
right.
You're pointing them to something that you want them to remember.
Right. That's great. That's perfect.
I agree with Bill, because this slide, actually, now that I read it, it tells me a lot. Now I kind of understand your business model more. And while I agree you want people to ask questions, my first impression was I was kind of just lost. but reading this, I was more listening to you than I think reading this slide. But reading this slide,
Yeah,
actually,
this one was totally my fault because I didn't modify the script or the slide to match up. I kind of just, with limited time today, put this together. But if I end up with a 3-minute pitch in front of Kleiner Perkins, I'll fix it.
Other comments from the judges?
I think my only other comment was sort of those who are listening are hearing different pieces of advice and different preferences from all of the judges as investors, and that is not at all uncommon. And it really can leave you as a founder spinning a bit on what do I do. That's why it's really important if you're going to have a longer pitch, whether it's with Kleiner Perkins or somebody more modest or smaller, just knowing what it is that they're focused on is very helpful in constructing your pitch.
Can you go to you're calling it your benchmark investments slide, so just the next one. Yeah. So this is also just, again, teaching moment. Quickly drop the logos in. That, you know, like if I can see a logo that then makes sense to me, like I get a little bit more excited, and it lends credibility to what you're doing. But for everybody else, this is a great thing that shows, like, in this industry, there are these consolidations happening, like huge amount of money raised, huge valuations. Like he's saying that they could play for this. You could get in on the ground floor of something that has the potential to be amazing. So it's just worth bringing to your attention that this is a really, from an investor's point of view, this says a lot of very good things about what's going on. So, David, great job on this.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I appreciate all the feedback.
And David, the plebes in the audience, you know, us poor suckers who don't get to give any advice, had a lot of nice praise for you.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can use all the support I can get. Entrepreneurs like us don't get too many pats on the back.
No, it was very polished, quite nice.
Thanks for repping the crew.
Did the HVAC come on?
Yeah, listen, we couldn't hear Jeff at all.
Oh yeah, well, I think you're. I think the mic. You're back to normal now. We got a lot of noise there for a second. So, all right. So David, stop sharing, and Misty, where do we go next?
So I guess overall, we're at the point of the wrap up for the evening. Happy to stick around and answer questions. Like if we want to be able to move people around or pull from the Q&A about tonight. Again, this is the first of 3. We get to do this a couple more times. If you want help with this, sign up for Startup MV. They've got a whole bunch of things for entrepreneurs, mentors that are available to help coach you. And maybe I'm trying to sell something that I shouldn't be. Maybe you don't have room for that, but. And if you heard words tonight, because we do it too, we talk in acronyms. If you heard things tonight that you don't understand, take a minute and drop a note to Jeff or Maggie or I or anybody on the team, and we'll start building a vocab list too. So many of the things we talked about tonight are going to get covered in a lot more detail in future sessions that we do every 2 weeks from now until Christmas. But we're happy to have you bring those things to our attention so we can help define them too. Jeff, what do you have for the end of the night? Or Maggie, do you want to manage some Q&A?
Yeah, Maggie, are there any questions that kind of stood out that didn't get answered? So, or just kind of comb through, and while you're doing that, you can just interrupt me.
Well, during the pitches, we didn't have a lot of people asking questions. I don't think that they knew that they could ask the questions. And your advice was pretty good. One person is saying they didn't understand a lot of the investment acronyms and buzzwords. And those are things like CAC and LTV that until you're actually into it, you don't really know what those things stand for. But there was a very long question that was asked earlier, and it's a very interesting question for you guys to actually answer. So let me summarize it. The person was saying, okay, so why are so many seeking funds over 200,000 if they know that this particular investment is just going to be 200,000? Why in some of the pitches are people saying they're looking for $1 million or they're looking for $1.5 million if they know that this particular thing is at a max of 200,000? So Jeff, why don't you answer that question?
Sure. So when you're raising money, you think in terms of rounds of funding that are going to get you to a certain waypoint, to achieve certain goals, to increase your valuation by a certain amount of money. And you don't have to get it all from one place. So the idea that you need $1 million and you're going to get $200,000 from one person, $50,000 from a fund, as long as you're making sensible deals that are consistent with those people, it's fine. You want to say what you need to get to your goal, not necessarily just pitching to the amount of money that particular fund or that particular investor has to invest. You have to put that together into a basket that makes sense.
Hey, Jeff, this is Bill. I would add that another term they're going to run across is a lead investor. There's somebody who would help you secure your round, whether it's 200,000, 500, $1 million and up. That investor would be responsible for trying to bring others into your deal. Seed and A and farther up the chain, which is another terminology, but that's how it's done. You get to the seed round, generally that's where you're going to find a lead investor, somebody who is basically taking up the rope for you and saying, I'm going to pull other people in.
Right. And then the people who get into that deal, to use another term, they syndicate in because the lead investor has negotiated the terms of the deal. It might be a $500,000 round. The lead investor is only putting 100 in, but they've set the terms for the deal. They've set the terms on the valuation, on the type of deal it's going to get done, whether it's a stock investment, an equity investment, or a convertible note, or some other things. And some of these, I know we keep adding jargon on jargon for those of you who aren't familiar with this. We do talk up, if you hop on the Startup NV YouTube channel, which is Startup NV on YouTube, go to YouTube and look up Startup NV. We have a bunch of videos that dive into some of these terms. And I also saw somebody else ask about, well, what are those 6 things, those 6 slides that investors want to see? We have a whole presentation. We have a whole 5 or 10 minute video on that as well. So as you're looking for money, these are the things that you as the founder have to become familiar with. We've got a ton of information on our YouTube channel and on our website about it, but there's gobs of information out there that are available beyond what we're doing, whether it's from Y Combinator or 500 Startups or any of the other big programs out there anywhere in the world.
Okay, new question. Identifying and securing the lead investor. If you had a perfect formula for this, you'd be in the money, but that question comes from Ben.
And that's the ultimate question. It's a lot of work and a lot of grinding and a lot of meetings and a lot of coffees and a lot of 1-minute pitches and 3-minute pitches and 5-minute pitches. Ideally what you want to do, what we tell founders that are part of our accelerator to do is do research. Go out and find the stage of investors that you're looking for and see what they're investing in, see what they're writing checks for. Put together, a good one sheet that you can present to them, and you do a lot of asking. There are people who like to lead, and they'll say that, but they don't always lead. I see Bill's coming online.
Yeah, I would tell you from the start, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to get disgusted with the way the system works, but it's the system. And at the end of the day, you just have to keep punching at it, trying to find the right people that are willing to invest. But realize it up front. It's a haul, but if you've got a product and you have traction, meaning revenues, and you can show an investor a vision, you'll pull them in. It's all about the story. It's all about you as a founder, and then it's about the business. They invest in the founder and whether or not they can run the business, actually gain an exit where they think they can make some money.
And that's a really important point that Bill just made. I can't tell you how many pitches that we see where the person pitching thinks, this is all about the idea. I'm going to pitch like they do on Shark Tank, and it's all about this great idea that I have. And that represents, at least in my mind, somewhere between 5 and 15% of the total evaluation, the actual idea. The other 85% is about the founding team. Is this the right team? Can they execute the plan? Because no matter what plan they have, it's going to change. And are they the kind of team that's going to grind it out, be able to pivot and make changes? So it's more about the team. It's got to be a good idea. It's got to be a good business plan. But generally, investors invest in the team and the person running it, rather than more so than the idea itself.
Okay, so we have 2 more questions, and one of them is, it's very interesting. It could be a longish answer. You could actually tie these 2 questions together. So one was asking about a small business that you want to keep small, but they want some startup capital. And on the other end, it's how do you find, one person, actually it was Good Elephant, was saying, okay, I have a successful business, I have traction, but some of the funds want more. And so I think you could tie this together with some resources that David mentions, PitchBook and Crunchbase, as to finding the type of investor that fits your needs. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, and I think that something I mentioned a minute ago, finding the investors that do the kind of investing that is relevant to your business. You know, Misty mentioned to Krista B that angel capital might not be the right way to go for a food related business in today's market. It might be better to go with a revenue redemption model, where essentially you're borrowing money and you're giving up a percentage of your sales to the group that loaned you the money. It's not cheap money. You're paying way more than a bank loan, but then a lot of businesses that are in that situation can't go get a bank loan. If you can get a bank loan, that's the cheapest money you can get, and you don't have to give up any equity. But there's just not a lot of new businesses that will qualify for that kind of a thing. So understanding what the types of capital that there is that exist out there, who is doing that investing, and does it apply to your business? It's just a lot of work. There isn't a single one place you can go to just type in a Google search, and even a well-worded Google search, and get the answer to that question. It's grinding. And on the other end of the spectrum, with seed funds and others having sort of, and I think I mentioned this when I responded to Ali's slides, was as you're in this industry, you start to know things. You start to learn some of these terms. Pre-seed rounds usually refers to businesses that don't have revenue, and those are the investors that are willing to invest in businesses that don't yet have revenue, or who are very close to revenue but don't yet have it. Seed investors who invest more money. The pre-seed people usually go anywhere from $10,000 or $20,000 up to maybe $150,000. The seed people go from low 6 figures to maybe low 7 figures somewhere, very low 7 figures somewhere. But they want revenue. Those people that are going to put that kind of money into that business generally want, somewhere at least $250,000 top line revenue. Oftentimes it's either $500,000 or even $1 million of revenue. For those of you who are in Reno, there's some of the funds up there that are looking for $500,000 in minimum revenue before they'll even really seriously consider investing in your business. They may let you pitch, but that's kind of the thing that they're looking for. And then you get into the A round funds, a small A round investment these days is $5 million. These funds that have all these hundreds of millions of dollars to invest, they can't fool around with investments in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. They have to put a lot of money to work fast. And their requirements are pretty damn steep. I mean, you better be a fairly mature startup before you start talking to the venture funds who are going to invest A rounds. And I'm hoping I'm not talking too much past everybody. But these are some of the terminology, sort of getting to know how these investments are done, who's making what kinds of investments, that you're going to get to learn over the course of this boot camp. But don't be afraid to ask. Miss D, did I miss anything?
I made a whole list of terms on the whiteboard in here, so we can capture those later and start our own little vocab list. So Angel Conference is designed for you for everybody to play. So you can come in, you can be like total novice about things, or you can be really, really advanced. We've got the skills to work the whole route. So whatever you don't know, you're going to know a lot more in December, and people apply more than once. So apply year 3, apply year 4. We've seen that happen other places. A couple of things on investing. Think about the relationships. I have seen people work the investment cycle to death and then have something weird happen, right? We had a woman who raised her first seed round sparring in a Mai Tai gym. Mai Tai. No, it's not the drink, the punching thing, right? Muay Thai. She raised her first round of funding there. She had a sparring partner, she'd been in there, and she'd been talking about her business, and she was trying to raise money, and finally her partner stopped her and said, "How much do you need? I've been waiting for you to ask me for months," right? So we had a meeting just like this where one of the entrepreneurs showed up in a shirt that had a marathon on it. And one of the investors said, "I just ran my first marathon." Boom, best friends, turned into an investment. Not with that guy, but he introduced him to somebody who was the right fit. So the opportunities also come in weird ways. You gotta let yourself relax about it a little bit too. And then the last point on this, if you're really new to this stuff and it feels totally overwhelming tonight, Investopedia is a good friend. You can sign up, they have a subscription, like they have a daily newsletter, and it just sends you one term every day, right? We did that for I used to get that like every day for like a couple of years, right? And they're turning stuff around. Sometimes it's not relevant, but a lot of times it is. But that's another tool that you can pick up. You can pick up a little bit more. And we cover a lot of these topics over the next few months. So.
And I think Bill Payne even has some videos and stuff.
Jeff, you were garbled. We couldn't hear what you answered.
I think there are also some teachings out on the Angel Capital Association website that cover some of these terms. So we might even have an old video of Bill Payne teaching these terms on our YouTube channel. So, but we'll get a vocab list out now that we've identified at least the start of it. I've got a whole presentation on it as well.
If you're doing a search on the YouTube, it's P-A-Y-N-E, Bill Payne. There's a lot of videos there.
So just to repeat, it's Bill Payne, P-A-Y-N-E. You guys are lucky. He's right here in Las Vegas, but he's the guy that the rest of us hire to go all over the world to talk about this stuff. He's the #1 guy I know in investor education, and he's going to help us along the way. So I think he'll be back in town soon, and he'll start showing up for these.
So yeah, Bill's leading our angel boot camp. We're teaching angels the terms and how to make investments. So,
Maggie, do you have any other things for us?
No, the questions have kind of dwindled. I can tell you though, we have a Y Combinator alum among us. Karen Sayers with Weather Tech, Weather something. Yeah. I'm sorry that I don't remember what it is.
That's a big deal. Getting into Y Combinators is hard. So, way to go, Karen.
Yeah, she was in the winter batch 2019.
Very cool. Super cool. All right, Jeff, you want to wrap up the night? Any Words of wisdom, inspiring thoughts?
Well, I think all of the wisdom came from our entrepreneurs tonight. They were amazing. Thank you. Thanks to our judges for offering their advice and for giving great feedback. Thanks to you, Misty, for emceeing us and keeping us on track. And thanks also to Raj for keeping us on track in the room over here, and for Maggie for wrangling all the questions and just making sure that this thing was going forward. So thank you to everyone. So next steps are, the next meeting is on, I don't have a calendar in front of me. I believe it's October 6th. Is that the next Tuesday?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so October 6th, we'll get, now you guys are on our mailing list, so you'll get information about it. But the next boot camp will be, it'll be content. I don't remember exactly which content we're covering on the next one. I think it's markets.
It's all about marketing.
Yeah. Okay.
Markets, Tam Sam Sam.
So so this is a big thing that a lot of entrepreneurs miss in terms of, well, how big is the market that you're getting into? How big can this thing get, whatever this thing is? So it's a big issue that we see a lot of pitches that miss that out, miss that idea. So come back next time. We'll do a little learning. 2 weeks after that, we'll do another one of these pitch sessions, and we'll continue to see it get better and better as time goes on. So thanks again, everybody. Appreciate your showing up and pitching. So we will say good night.